Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, how's about a bottle of this nice lavender water, House, huh?
Thank you, Tony. I don't need none of that stuff.
Well, little Joe, he uses this.
Yeah, but if I smelled bad, little Joe, I would too.
That's absolutely catnip, huh? You can spark all of the ladies with this.
Thank you, Tony.
Palace Hotel's across the street. Need any help with your bags, ma'am?
No.
Hey, Clint, how'd things go? Look. Excuse me, ma'am.
Put me down! You drunken son! Put me down!
Having trouble with a pen, ma'am? Number 17, Miss Atley. Top of the stairs on your left. May I help you with the bags, ma'am?
No, thank you.
Hey, Hoss, as long as you're being a good Samaritan, your lady friend forgot this.
Yeah? Reckon I might as well take it over there to her, huh?
Sure a hog for punishment. Here you are, Sir Galahad.
My name's Hoss Cartwright, ma'am. I got your hat box. I reckon he just sort of walked off and forgot it.
Thank you for troubling.
Oh, man, it wasn't no trouble. I was on my way back over to the...
Thank you.
That collar would fit you just like a glove, Hoss.
Yeah. You better fit old Nellie like a collar. I'm gonna hang it on you, Frank. on to it a few minutes. I'll come back and pick it up.
Oh, Mom. Mom. I'm so sorry. I want to promise you something. I want to promise you that I'm going to take whatever time I've got left, and I'm going to try and be what I should have been. Oh, I didn't want you to die alone. Oh, I wanted to be here when you needed me. I came back too late. Everything's too late.
It ain't never too late to cry over somebody you love. Ma'am, I don't mean to be intruding, but I'd like to be of some help if I could. I know Virginia City pretty well. And I reckon it's pretty obvious that I know all the good eating places. I do a pretty fair job of handling a horse and buggy, too.
Well, I got most of the wood shop, but I'm not...
Down back there in the back.
Yes, sir. Today I put no starch in the collar.
Oh, great. Don't ever do that no more. Hey, listen, how about that?
That time you stick the bow a little bit more. Listen.
Yeah. How about my shirt in the back?
Very
Sam?
good. Very good. You look very
Hey, I
handsome.
see you got one.
Take the buggy and all polish today.
I wanted to talk to you a minute.
Ah,
I wanted
smells
to talk to you a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to talk to you about
Yeah.
me doing your
Oh,
chores.
yeah, thanks a lot.
Goodbye.
Is that you smells like lavender water?
Oh, no, sir. It's Mr. Hoss. He bring home whole bottle last night. Put in bathtub, put in hair, put in everything.
What's he got in the basket?
Fried chicken, ham, potato salad, loaf of bread, cake, roast beef, little thing like that.
What's he gonna do, feed the whole Virginia City militia?
He not tell you what he do?
Oh, no, he didn't tell me. What's he gonna do?
Well, then I not tell you either. I can tell you Calvin.
Thanks a lot.
Confidence is a confidence, little Joe.
Well, look, confidence or no confidence, but I'm getting tired of doing double chores. I was breaking my back. I didn't mind it for a little while, but I've been working, and he doesn't...
Wait just 1 second. I recall a number of occasions when Hoss did all your chores when you went calling on a girl.
Papa, that... Hey, what? He's doing all this for a girl?
No. What would a girl have to do with getting dressed up every day and dousing yourself with lavender water and going on picnics and polishing the buggy? And listen, young fella, don't kid him about it.
No, I won't kid him. Hey, I wonder who she is.
A girl. Oh, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Go finish your chores.
Yes, sir.
What's the matter? Something wrong? Oh, hi, Sheriff.
Us.
How are you? This is Miss Carol Atlee, Sheriff. This is Clem Foster, our sheriff, Carol.
How you do, Miss Atlee?
How do you do?
You're new in town, aren't you?
Yes.
I hope you find Virginia City to your liking, ma'am. Hoss.
So long, Sheriff. Get up. What do you think of it?
I never saw anything so pretty. It's hard to believe that a place as beautiful as this didn't even exist once.
How do you mean, didn't exist?
When all the earth was granite, before the sun shone on it. It reminds me of something I read once. Rain beats on lonely granite sheets that have not felt the sun. The silent air has not been moved by cries of sorrow. That was from a book that was once very close to me. I don't remember how the poem ends. Do you come here often?
As often as possible.
Yeah.
See that little stream out there? It's chock plumb full of trout. Hey, would you like to try to catch one?
What about a fishing pole?
And bait. Just happens to be around.
Hoss, is it possible there still are people like you in this world?
Let's go catch a fish. Come on. Come on. I'll bait your hook for you.
All right.
Yeah. Now, I'll put it in there, and then I'll let you have it. All right?
Yeah.
There. Now, hang on and watch your cork.
Watch my cork.
Yeah, when you see that cork bobbing, and you know you got a fish, don't you see?
Oh.
Keep your eye on him. No, you got him up too high. That's it. Now keep the end of the pool out of the water. There you go. Now, no, look here. Keep your cork right down there on the surface. Jog it around just a little bit, see, and tease them. Make that bait look more alive. Yeah. Here, you're doing real good. Just keep an eye on that cork.
Oh!
You got a nibble. Hang on, just be patient.
All right.
Now he's got it. Now he took it. Now pull it.
Okay.
Hang on. You want me to get him?
No, I want to. No,
Be careful.
I will. Oh,
You got,
I really...
you got a granddaddy up on. All right. Be careful of the bank, Carol. Carol, bank! Carol! Carol! You all right? You all right?
I didn't even catch him.
I just don't know what to say. I mean, I'm so gall-darn delighted.
Hey, what are you delighted about? Don't tell me my big brother finally decided to go back to work.
I'll tell you what. We're going to have a wedding in the family. Hoss here tells me he intends to get married.
What?
That's right. I'm going to get married, Joe, just as soon as I can get some things taken care of.
Well, you son of a gun. Congratulations. Hey, I'll bet you know who it is. Bessie Sue.
No.
Mary Jane?
No. You don't even know her. You never met this girl. Her name's Carol Atlee, and she just got into town 4 days ago.
4 days ago?
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's why I fixed this thing up so we could all have dinner tonight at the hotel and everybody get kind of acquainted. You know?
Hoss, let's have dinner here.
Now, Paul, I'd rather do it at the hotel so we can do it upright, you know. I'm going to go up and get dressed, see you all after a while.
Okay. I'll be doggone.
How about that?
Yeah, I won't be an uncle. Well, what's Keith on?
Will you relax?
I mean, relax. How am I going to relax? It's not every day a fellow meets his sister-in-law for the first time. I must have been sitting there for 20 minutes.
Oh, there they are, then.
She's kind of pretty, isn't she?
Yeah.
Carol, I want you to meet my Pa and my little brother, Joe, and Mr. Cartwright. This is Carol Atlee.
Howdy. It's a pleasure, man.
Carol, you're as lovely as Hoss said you'd be.
You're very nice.
Well, why don't we all sit down, huh? Here. Well, I reckon we might as well start, huh?
Sounds good to me.
Good idea.
Was it? I think we're ready.
Right away, Hoss.
Yeah.
Carol, in your family, do you have two brothers like these two fellas?
I hope not.
No.
Any sisters?
No.
Any family?
I'm quite alone.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you won't be for long, that's for sure.
No, you sure won't. We're going to put a change to that right quick.
Well, Carol, we've been Looking forward to meeting you and getting to know you. After all, it's not every day that a man's son decides to get married.
Of course not.
Thank you, Martha. Hey. Well, that soup looks delicious.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Martha. Well, it's got everything in it.
Thank you, Martha.
I reckon we might as well dig in, huh?
You haven't been in Virginia City very long, have you?
Just for 5 days.
Whereabouts you from? Back east?
Yes. Yes.
What town you from?
Something wrong, Carol?
Carol? I was just asking you what town you're from back east.
I've lived so many places.
Well, what was the last place you lived in? Was it some kind of secret?
Joseph, have your soup.
I'm not feeling very well. Will you excuse me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to spoil your dinner. Thank you for inviting me.
Carol, you'll have dinner with us tomorrow night at our house.
Yes. Little Joe?
Good night.
I'll be back after a while.
I wonder what that was all about.
Well, when a girl meets her future in-laws, I guess she has a right to be nervous.
You know, being nervous is one thing, but she was on her guard from the moment she came in.
Yes, sir.
I feel sorry for Hoss. He had this whole thing planned, but he's disappointed.
Yeah. Well, let's eat.
Now, Carol, you listen to me. You can unlock that door and go in that room and lock me out. Catch the next stage out of town. Do whatever you like. That's not giving us much of a chance, is it?
What chance have we got?
I'll tell you what kind of a chance we've got. So long as I've got you, Carol, you've got me. All of my strength, everything that I own. It'll work.
No, Hoss. It wasn't your brother. It wasn't your father tonight. It was me. They have every right to know about me. Who I am. Why I am here. You must wonder why I can't answer normal questions. You must wonder why I've never told you anything about myself.
Yes, I have wondered. But, Carol, I trust you. I believe in you. Most of all, I love you. I love you as much as any man can a woman. And I think you love me.
I do love you, Hoss. I wish I could marry you.
Carol, what is it?
I can't.
Why?
I have no right.
Oh, Carol, don't do this.
I killed a man. It was an accident. But I killed him. He was a cheat. A liar. A brute. A drunk. But I didn't know that when I married him. Mother and I were alone, and we were poor. We were very poor. And he made a lot of promises. Oh, I was young. He was much older. He lived. I was drawn to that. But not Mama. She hated him. She saw right through him. But I wouldn't listen to her. I left her and I ran away with him. And I never saw my Mama alive again.
Carol, go on. I want to hear the rest of it.
Well, when he was drunk, he was violent. And he used to beat me. And then one night he came home and he was very angry. He'd had some fight with another woman. And he had a gun. He threatened me. And I fought with him. And the gun went off. And then I saw him fall. And he was dead. I wasn't held for it, but I can't forget it. I can't ever forget it.
Carol, I told you once. I'm going to tell you again. I love you. I want you to be my wife. I want you forever.
Oh, Hoss.
Please say yes. Please, Carol. Please.
Look. Do you remember that poem that I read to you? I tried to recite it, but I couldn't remember the ending. Well, I kept the book. And after you asked me to marry you, I looked it up. Rain beats on lonely granite sheets that have not known the sun. The silent air has not been moved by cries of sorrow. Then one bright sun shoots one bright ray, bursts forth a flower, and with it day, to bloom for thee. Yes, to bloom for thee.
Carol, send me the answers, yes.
Yes.
That's the whole story, or all there is to it. I'm sure glad she didn't keep it locked up inside her. It would have always been between us, I reckon.
Joe, I think it might be a good idea if you and I visited Carol. Showed her the whole family's behind her.
Right.
Yeah, I think she'd like that, Paul. Well, I gotta get into town first thing in the morning. I got all them wedding plans to take care of.
Now, we'll take care of your chores and we'll see you there later.
Yeah, I guess that shouldn't bother you too much, should it, Hoss?
Not a bit, little brother. Not a bit. You know, this getting hitched, it's a full-time job.
Yeah, well, I think Pa should have warned you about that.
Yeah. Well, you might as well say good night and good morning to me right now, because first thing, bright and early in the morning, I'm taking off. And tonight I gotta get my sleep. Good night.
Night, Hoss.
Good night, brother. Well, I'm gonna have to do his chores and my chores. I better turn in, too. See you in the morning, Pa.
Good night, son.
going to be the most beautiful wedding dress in the world.
And I'm going to talk to the preacher, and we're going to have the most beautiful and the biggest wedding the Ponderosa ever heard of. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Make it very soon.
Carol, I'll guarantee you nothing's going to keep me any longer than possible. Bye.
Would you check my bag? Where can I find the sheriff's office in this town?
Well, there's a sheriff right over there.
Well, thank you. Sheriff? Sheriff!
There's a man following me.
What?
A man has been trying to force himself on me. If he comes in here, you tell him that I am not registered.
Well, certainly, Miss Atlee. I never heard of you. Just got in town, Sheriff.
What can I do for you?
Harry Deemers, U.S. Marshal, New York.
You're a long ways from home.
You recognize this woman?
Well, yes. I believe her name is Carol Atlee. She arrived in town a few days ago. Why?
I'm here to arrest her for the murder of her husband.
Are you sure Carol Atlee is the one you're looking for?
Carol Andrews, Sheriff. Atlee was her maiden name. Where can I find her?
Hotel, maybe. If not, most likely she'd be with Hoss Cartwright out the Ponderosa.
Ponderosa? What's that?
That is the biggest spread in the territory, Marshal. You can rent a rig at the livery stable, get you out there.
Thanks. Mr. Cartwright?
Yes?
Harry Demers. I'm a U.S. Marshal from the East.
So how can I help you, Mr. Demers?
I understand you have a son, Hoss.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to him.
Well, he's not here right now. What's this about?
I'm trying to locate this woman, Carol Andrews. You might recognize her as Carol Atlee.
What do you want with her?
The government wants her for the murder of her husband.
I understood that her husband's shooting was accidental.
2 bullets through the heart is no accident.
Come on, Mr. Demers.
Who is it?
It's Ben Cartwright, Miss Atlee. May I come in?
Just a minute. I was just trying on my wedding dress.
It's very lovely.
Come in.
Thank you.
I was going to ask Hoss to marry me right away. Today.
Miss Atlee, Carol. Would you sit down? I had a visitor at the Ponderosa from the east. Mr. Demers. Kyle, is what he says true?
What does he say?
He said that you left your husband went off with another man. And when your husband came after you, you killed him. Is that true? Is that true? That isn't what you told Hoss. Is it?
No. Mr. Cartwright. My husband wasn't fit to live. I had tried to leave him many times. But he'd always stop me. When my mother was dying, he kept me from going to her, forcibly. The night that he was killed, we'd had an ugly fight. There was another man. He'd offered to help me. To give me money to go to my mother if I would. I went to him. My husband followed me there and broke in. He called me a tramp. He began slapping me around. The other man tried to help me. But my husband just beat him to the floor, senseless. Then he came after me again. And I saw a gun. It was lying in a case. I picked it up. I aimed it at him. And I told him to stop. But he kept coming closer. And then I killed him. If I hadn't killed him, he would have killed me. And that's the whole story. Do you believe me?
I don't know. Would you tell Hoss what you just told me?
How could I tell Hoss what I've been, what I've done? I love him so much.
If you love him so much, how can you lie to him?
Because I don't want to lose him. I can't lose him.
Are you going to live a lie for the rest of your life? What about Demers? What about the warrant for your arrest?
I don't care. I came here to bury myself. But I found a life instead. I didn't ask to meet Hoss. But I did. And I love him. And he loves me. And he's going to find some way to keep Demers from taking me back. He won't let Demers take me back.
If that's your idea of love, to ruin the person you love. Because if it is, I sure feel sorry for you, Carol. I sure feel sorry for you.
Hoss won't believe you. He loves me. He'll believe me.
Yes, he'll believe you. Knowing Hoss, I know he'll believe you. He loves you. And you'll destroy him.
Get out of here.
For Hoss's sake. And your own. Tell him the truth.
Get out of here. is it?
It's me, Hoss, Carol.
What do you want?
Well, I brought you some more things.
What? Just a minute. Come in, Hoss.
I told you I wouldn't be long.
That's my sweet Hossie. I knew you wouldn't be long. Oops. I'm just having a little prenuptial celebration. You too, Hossie. You too. You're going to have a little prenuptial celebration.
No, thank you, Carol. I don't believe I care for it.
Bad, Hossie. You said you were going back to the Ponderosa.
Well, I was, but I had to pick up these things, and I ran across these flowers, and I just thought I'd bring them over to you.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, you're my sweet Hossie. You love me better than anybody in the world, don't you, Hossie?
Yeah, Carol, I love you, but don't you think you've had enough to drink?
No.
Hey, they send up the clean laundry yet?
Who is he, Carol? Who is he?
I guess you might as well tell him, honey.
He's just who you think he is. Just who you think he is.
Carol.
Oh, Carol, Carol! Is that all you can say, Carol? Well, now you know. What do you want me to do? Cry? Would you like me to beg your forgiveness? You. If you'd only stayed in there one more minute, we'd have had him hooked. You would have been married, and it would have cost you plenty to get out of it. Well, what are you standing there for?
Carol, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I like that. It was you who fostered your attentions on me. You and your stuffy family. Well, it's a very rich family. Why shouldn't I have some of that money? Huh? Did you think I was doing it for you? You? To bloom for thee? I've used that poem to hook more yokels than you could count. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll let you have it. Hey, for a sweet!
You better get out, farm boy. Well, that takes care of my end of it. Now you're going to be nice and tame all the way back to New York, just like you promised, huh? Just like you promised, huh? Better get ready. That judge and jury have been waiting a long time for you. I'll get my coat.
So you gotta try to talk to him.
Well, there's some things a man has to do for himself. Mourning a lost love is one of them.
Well, how's it going?
That's the last one.
Really?
Uh-huh. 250 of the prettiest little calves you've ever seen.
You realize you're a whole week ahead of schedule? I'm proud of you, son. Really, I'm proud of you.
Well, the men deserve the credit. They're a real good crew.
It still takes a man to lead the way. You tell the boys there'll be a good bonus for each one of them.
Good, they'll be happy about that. Does that go for me, too?
Well, if you consider that week off you've been wanting to take a bonus.
Hey, do I ever. Elkton, here I come.
Elkton? What are you going to do in Elkton?
Pa, the prettiest girls in Nevada live right there in Elkton.
Oh, they do, they? Yeah, I guess you would know about things like that. Hey, Joe, since you're going out that way, do me a favor, will you? Drop in and see how Morgan Tanner's doing. Last time I saw him, that broken arm of his wasn't setting too well.
I wouldn't go by Elkton without looking in on Morgan. Hey, why don't you wait for me? I'll get my horse. We'll ride home together.
Pretty girls, huh?
Joe! Well, what a surprise. What the deuce are you doing way over here in Elkton?
Came over to see you and Martha, for one thing. How you doing?
Fine. What the devil have you got on?
Huh? What do you mean?
What smells so pretty?
Oh, well, that's some of that bay rum cologne stuff, you know.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Must be a new girl in town, huh?
Well, I don't know. That's what I came to Elkton to find out. We finished the Brandon, and Pa gave me a week off. He and Hoss sent the best to you and your wife.
Thank you. Been meaning to bring Martha over to see you folks, but man never seems to get caught up on a place like this.
I see what you mean. Let me give you a hand with that.
All right.
Yeah, this could use a little more chopping. You know, Morgan, you're a lucky man. Having a wife like Martha.
Hey, Joe, wait a minute. What is all this? Bay rum cologne, sentimental talk? You sure there isn't some special girl in Elkton?
No, nobody special, but you know, you never can tell.
Well, it's time you found a girl and settled down. When it's time for me to start planting rice, let me know.
Okay, well, don't rush it. I got a lot of wild oats to sow first. How's that arm doing?
Ah, it could be better. Just keep forgetting it doesn't work so good. Wasn't because of that you stopped by, was it?
Morgan, if you don't feel sorry for yourself, why should I?
Hey, Joe. That can wait. Come on, let's go in the house and get something cold to drink.
You got yourself a deal.
I can't wait for Martha to see you.
Does Martha still make that dried apple pie?
She sure does. Yeah, that's my horse. Somebody's stealing my horse.
He's dead.
Any idea who he was?
No name on anything, Martha. Just the initials LJ on his belt buckle.
Just one bullet hit him, went clear through him.
He was hit dead center of where I was aiming. I'm sure it was my bullet brought him down.
And I'll take him in Elkton, file a report with the sheriff. I'll bring your horse back when I'm through.
Now, that won't be necessary, Joe. I'll saddle up and go with you. You're a stranger here. Sheriff Fenton's a friend of mine. I want to tell him it was my blame.
Whatever you think is best, Morgan.
I think that's best. Won't take me but a minute to saddle up another horse.
And I better get him up on the horse.
Well, go ahead.
Then he opened fire on us. There wasn't nothing to do but shoot back. He was coming straight at us. There wasn't no chance to miss him. Joe and I both fired at the same time.
You both fired?
Yeah, that's right, Sheriff. I guess you could see, though. Just one bullet hit him.
LJ. This is something here. Luke Jordan. With a bunch of aliases. Now, if this is him, you boys got a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him, all right. The one sitting down right there on the right.
Luke Jordan. Wanted dead or alive for the murder of a cashier and the theft of $8,000 from the Tucson Express Company. If apprehended, notify Sheriff Winkler, Tucson, Arizona. There's a $2,000 reward. Well, it looks like you boys did the community a service and made some pretty good wages besides.
It didn't enter my mind about there being a reward.
Yeah, some days you get lucky, Morgan.
Oh, no, I don't hold the blood money, Sheriff.
Well, neither do I. But if it falls your way, take it. I bet there were 20 bounty hunters after this one. If you boys hadn't got it, one of them would have.
He's right, Morgan. Hey, Sheriff, who are the other three in the picture?
It's his brothers, Virgil, Boone, and Walt Jordan. They've all got records a mile long. It seems like they've served their time, and I want it at the moment.
Is that all, Sheriff?
No, there's one more thing. Now, Luke's death could bring his brothers into town to claim his body. If that happens... Well, these are real hard cases, boys. They might want to claim a couple of more bodies besides Luke's.
You mean Joe and me?
Well, I think you're just looking for trouble before it starts, Sheriff.
Well, that's a habit with me, Cartwright. Just like staying alive. If I broke one habit, I might lose the other.
I guess you get a point.
Well, thanks for the time, boys. I'll wire the sheriff in Tucson, and your money should be here in a couple of days.
Right. Oh, what's the matter, Morgan? You got something against money?
Got something against that way of getting it.
Just put that kind of thinking out of your head. You didn't have any choice.
I guess you're right. Well, I'll go on over and get my horse. I better be getting back to the farm.
I think I'll stick around town a little while.
Yeah, I figured you would. Any chance of you coming out and having supper with me and Martha before you go back to the Ponderosa?
Now, you can count on it. Just make sure Martha's got plenty of that dried apple pie for me.
Right.
I'll see you back at the ranch.
Want company, sweetheart?
Not that I know of. Favorite number for you, stranger?
Anything you play is fine with me, man.
I've got a favorite number. You.
When my neck needs washing, Mr. Rollins, I'll do it myself.
Are you an iceberg, girlie?
Will you leave me alone?
Don't play that holier now with me, lady. This is a saloon, and you're here to entertain.
Mr. Rollins, my kind of entertainment is supposed to be cultural, not physical.
Somebody once said, if you can't whip them, join them.
Hey, mister. Hey, you. Go finish your drink. I want to hear the music.
Get lost, little boy. Get here.
Little boy wants to hear the music. Mind if I sit down?
No, not at all. In fact, I'd like it.
Thank you.
My name's Lorna Medford. I'm sorry you had to get involved in that incident, Mr.
Cartwright. Joe Cartwright. I'm from over Virginia City way. And as far as the incident's concerned, forget it. Today seems like my day for getting involved. Why don't you play some music, liven this place up a little bit?
That'll cost you a drink, Joe. Gotta earn my keep. What do you have?
I'll have what you have.
What would you like me to play?
Hey, let me see. How about Beautiful Dreamer? You know that one?
Of all the songs to pull out of a hat, why did you have to choose that one?
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Buttermilk? You're a real woman of the world, aren't you?
From Cobeyville, Ohio. Population 58, -1.
Who's the real Lorna? The dress you're wearing or what you're drinking?
I ordered the buttermilk, Joe. The management ordered the dress. That's for the customers whose hearing doesn't match their eyesight.
Who was he? Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, what?
Rich man.
I see. And you were the girl from the other side of the tracks, huh?
Something like that. Wanting to marry the family money, not the man.
You think you were just after the family treasury?
I didn't wait to find out.
You just ran away, huh?
I didn't run. I simply had to prove I could make it on my own without the help from any family treasury.
Well, that's good. It's good. You're really going to prove a lot in a place like this. $10 a week, all the buttermilk you can drink, and the wonderful fragrance of stale beer.
This is just a stepping stone to San Francisco. If I'm good enough, I can entertain the kind of audiences that won't be looking at my legs. Well, thanks for the buttermilk and the kind words.
Did you ever stop to find out whether he believed what his family said about you?
No.
No, not you. You just ran off and left.
If he really loved me, he'd have tried to find me.
Well, try looking at it from his side. As far as he's concerned, you just ran out on him.
Hey, girlie. You might like to know whatever Mr. Cartwright buys for you has been paid for by a dead man.
What's that supposed to mean?
The whole town's talking about it. There was a reward on that dead man. And I'm betting Cartwright and his friend Morgan killed him for money. You shoot him in the back, Cartwright? You take him by surprise. I know all about you. You want to hear it?
You got the floor, mister. Keep talking.
I'll do that. He's a rich kid. Run out of money. So he turned bounty hunter. What's the matter, rich kid? Didn't you get your lollipop allowance this week?
Don't push it too far, mister.
I don't have a price on my head, bounty hunter. I'm not worth $2,000 dead or alive. And if you're good enough to shoot me, you might find some small change in my pocket. Here. Save you the trouble.
A couple of beers, my friend's buying. You know, Loudmouth, they say that if a man could second guess his mistakes, he'd never die by accident. I want to give you a chance to learn that lesson. Just leave that stand there. See, that's a very important beer glass. That beer glass is you. This one's me. See, now the idea is to see if you can spill my beer before I spill yours. Anytime you're ready, Loudmouth. Oh, you would have died of a real bad case of slow. Put it back. Now drink to your good health and your good fortune.
What can I get you boys?
Beer. Same here. What do you have, Virg?
Whiskey.
Something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I just remembered something I had to do, that's all. I'll see you later.
But he threatened to kill me, I tell you.
Well, he didn't do it, did he? You quit shouting, I got a headache.
You mean you're not going to arrest a man for attempted murder?
No, I'm not going to arrest a man for shooting up a beer glass, providing he pays for it.
Oh, I'll pay for it.
All right, there he is, Sheriff. Now arrest him.
Casey, will you shut up? What's the matter, Cartwright? You forget something?
Yeah, Sheriff, I think maybe I did. I just don't want to talk about it in front of Morgan.
Oh, I thought you and Morgan were close friends.
Well, we are. We're good friends, but, you know, Morgan gets kind of carried away with himself sometimes.
Yeah. Well, what's on your mind?
Well, it was just one bullet in a dead man. Now, who would you say put it there?
Morgan Tanner seems to think he did.
Well, he's wrong. I shot Luke Jordan.
Well, what makes you so sure that Morgan didn't kill him?
He was shooting with his left hand.
Looks like you were, too.
Come on, Sheriff. I was born left-handed. Morgan's new at it.
You wouldn't be just after that reward money, would you?
It was my bullet that was in Luke Jordan. As a reward, I'll take it.
All $2,000 of it. No share and share alike, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Casey, will you get out of here? The way I hear it, you Cartwright's own half of Nevada. I didn't realize you needed money that bad.
Look, the wanted poster doesn't ask whether I need the money or not. It wants to know if Luke Jordan is dead and who killed him.
I've been known to throw reward money in the gutter and make a bounty hunter scramble for it.
Would you make Morgan scramble for it?
Morgan needs that money, real bad. He had a right to kill that man, protecting what belongs to him.
Yeah, well, if you're looking for justification, Sheriff, I was protecting what belongs to me.
And just what might that be?
My life. I was being shot at, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. And the way you play with that gun, you're liable to get shot at again. So hand it over and I'll give it back to you when you leave town.
Well, I'd like to keep my gun if you don't mind.
I mind. There's an ordinance in town against carrying a gun.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. I've seen 20 men in this town packing guns.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll have to look into that, Cartwright. But the ordinance is still on the books, so hand it over.
I'll be at the hotel. Let me know when the money gets here.
I'll do that.
There you go, Timer.
Thanks.
Give me a drink. Now listen, Casey, you get out of here. You caused enough trouble. Give me a drink. Anything else, gents?
No more to drink, but we can use a little information.
Ain't much goes on around this town I don't know about.
We're looking for a man. Name of Luke Jordan. Ever hear of him?
Seems I heard the name someplace.
Well, he's a brother of ours. What do you know about him?
This is Elkton, ain't it? Well, you got something to say about our brother?
I think it'd save a lot of time and all if you had a little talk with the sheriff. The drinks around the house.
I guess we won't have no trouble finding the sheriff.
Mister? Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but maybe I can save you some time.
Well, maybe there's somebody in Elkton don't mind talking.
Well, it's not easy to say. Your brother's dead. Shot. I know the man that did it. A bounty hunter by the name of Cartwright.
This Cartwright, he's still here in town?
Yeah, he's still here.
Thanks for the drinks and the information.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, Sheriff, but you sure must want to lose $1 off a bad.
Well, things were getting a little boring in town. When I get bored, I like to gamble. Dollar still says you can't get 3 out of 5.
All right, if that's the way you want it. Stand back, Martha. Pay me. Thanks, Sheriff. Easiest dollar I ever made. You can use it, Martha.
Well, that's pretty good shooting for a man who had to learn to shoot with his left hand. Morgan, how are things going around here since that horse busted you up?
Martha and me get by.
I don't like the way we come by it any better than Morgan does, but when we get that reward money, we're going to get along a sight better.
Sheriff, you didn't come all the way out here just to lose $1 to me. What's on your mind?
I kind of hate to tell you this, Morgan, but your friend Cartwright changed his mind.
Changed his mind about what?
About sharing that reward.
Well, maybe he changed his mind, but I haven't. Look, Sheriff, he's going to take his share just like I told him. We both fired.
Yeah, I know, but he claims you missed. He says you've got no share coming. He wants it all.
But how does he know who missed and who didn't?
You'd have to ask him, Martha. All I know is he wants it all.
Well, you're not going to give it to him, are you?
No, I haven't yet. I want to see how good you could shoot first. Morgan, you'll have to come into town and we'll file a report. Let the judge decide.
No, Sheriff. If little Joe thinks that money's rightly his, give it to him.
What?
Martha, I never did hold the blood money in the first place. I'm sure not going to argue with a friend about it.
Mom!
Sorry, Martha. Sometimes money can turn a man mighty fast. Bye.
They're here, Sheriff.
Who's here?
The 3 brothers of that man Cartwright killed. And they're here after Cartwright, there's no doubt about it.
But just how did they know it was Cartwright they were after?
Well, because I told them. Figured they were going to find out anyway, so I told them.
Casey, why don't you go steal a horse so I'll have an excuse to hang you? Maybe you didn't hear what I said, Cartwright.
I heard you.
You must want that reward money pretty bad.
Yep, I want it real bad.
Bad enough to face up to 3-to-1 odds?
If I have to.
Cartwright, I've got a job to do in this town, and part of it is to keep people from getting killed. So why don't you do me a favor and just get out of town?
I want the money.
I'll send it to you.
I'll wait for it.
What good is $2,000 going to do a dead man?
Maybe I just don't intend being dead, Sheriff.
You know, I rode out to see Morgan Tanner. He shoots pretty good with his left hand.
Good enough.
Good enough it could have been him that put that bullet in Luke Jordan.
So it might have been him, but it wasn't. Now, how many times do I have to tell you that?
You've been friends with Morgan a long time, haven't you?
A real long time.
Well, as long as you're in my town, I'll do what I can to protect you. That's my job. But I can't be with you all the time. So, come on by the office. I'll give you your gun back.
Thanks.
For what? Good luck, Cartwright.
Thanks for not turning your back and walking away when I came in.
I could never do that to you, Joe. Got too much respect for you and too much gratitude.
Gratitude? What for?
This came from Placerville last night. Read it.
Let's sit down. Dearest Lorna, I followed you across 7 states. If you are running away from me, I won't try to follow. But if you're running away from yourself or my family, stay where you are. I'll find you. I want to marry you. Love, Richard. I couldn't have said it better myself.
You won your point, didn't you?
Looks like I won it just in time. You're not making any friends in this town sitting around with a bounty hunter.
I won't buy that name, Joe. You couldn't possibly be brutal or mercenary.
And just what makes you so sure?
Because I saw you provoked beyond patience by Casey Rollins. If you had any killer instinct in you, it would have come out then.
Try to explain to yourself why I cheated my friend out of his share of the reward?
Did you have a reason for doing it?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm sure it was a good one. I'd bet my life on it.
Well, things are going to get a little rougher if I have to bet mine.
What do you mean by that? Is somebody threatening you?
No, but there's always a good possibility of it.
Well, try not to worry about it.
Who's worried? Look at me. Look at that right hand, steady as a rock. Just wish I was right-handed. How about a buttermilk?
Hey, Cartwright. There are 3 men asking folks if anyone knows where you are. They're the brothers of that man you killed.
Where are they now?
They're out there waiting for you. Near the undertaking place. And I got a funny notion that they're not going to settle for shooting at beer glasses.
You looking for me?
Your name Joe Cartwright?
Yeah.
This here's my brother Boone. My brother Walt. I'm Virgil Jordan. We come here to give our brother Luke a Christian burial. And I figured to send him on his way in some new clothes. He always liked dark suits, and he never got around to buying one.
Sorry about what happened.
It ain't your fault, Cartwright. If Luke was shooting, you had every right to shoot back. Besides, I hear tell he stole a horse. They can hang a man for that. No, I figure Luke was lucky just getting shot. Sheriff, if my brother made trouble, if he put you out any, I want to apologize because whatever he got, he was asking for it.
Well, I know that's a hard thing to say, coming from a brother.
Me and my brothers are just planning to stay in town long enough to do what we have to do. Mr. Cartwright, don't trouble your conscience none about collecting on that money. If Luke had a price on his head, he put it there himself.
They didn't even raise their voices.
Hey, you think all that sweetness in life is on a level?
Well, I don't know. Why?
Just don't bury a brother and then pat somebody on the head for killing him.
Well, didn't you tell me not to go dreaming up trouble before it happened?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right. Let's go have a beer.
Sure, if that sounds good. My heart's been up my throat the last few minutes. I think a drink might get it back where it belongs.
Well, you can put these clothes on him later. Right now, I wonder if we could have a few minutes alone with our brother.
Of course. I understand.
Thank you, sir. All right. Now, we're going to plan this, and I don't want no slips.
You know, catching Cartwright by himself could be a problem, Verge. You figured out a way for that?
We got to get rid of the sheriff first.
Maybe we could keep him busy, Verge. Like we did up in Fargo.
Yeah, that would work. You do it, Boone.
Where do you figure it ought to be, Verge?
Somewhere close to town, where it'll draw a crowd. And Walt, I want you to make sure the Undertaker has got another pine box, just like this one.
Maybe it'd be best if we talked about it, Martha. This just ain't like us, not talking things over.
I've said my say.
No, Martha, you haven't said your say. You're letting it build up inside of you.
It didn't just start with this, Morgan. If it's building up inside of me, it's been building for a long time. When the well went dry, and I lost that little patch of flowers I had, when you promised me those new curtains, and then you had to spend the money on a plow handle.
Look, honey, I don't blame you. I know it's been hard.
But that's the point. Don't you see that, Morgan? I have never complained. I have never wanted to. I have never figured that I had to because I knew that you were doing your best. And I kept hoping and hoping and even dreaming. And now we get that chance to make some of those dreams come true. And you just sit by and let little Joe Cartwright walk off with money that's rightly ours.
He must feel for sure it was his bullet that killed that man. He truly must.
But at first, he was going to share and share alike. Morgan, don't you have any idea what $1,000 would mean to us?
Yes, Martha, I know what it would mean. I guess it just wasn't meant to be, that's all.
I can't accept that answer, Morgan. I won't accept it.
Martha, there just ain't much we can do.
But there's something that I can do. I'll go into town, and I'll find little Joe, and I'll tell him my feelings. Now, that's what I can do.
It won't do no good.
It'll do a lot more good than standing here listening to a man who won't even stand up for his own rights. Morgan, I didn't mean that. You know I didn't.
I reckon I know that. But it's sad. Maybe it's true. I'll go into town in the morning. I'll stand up to the sheriff, and I'll stand up to little Joe, too. I'll tell him I figure there was as much chance I killed Luke Jordan as there was little Joe done it.
Morgan, sometimes a woman gets so riled up. She says a lot of things.
Well, maybe that's what husbands ought to be for. Listen when their wives get riled up.
Well, this is all you need, Cartwright. A telegraph order from Tucson. You can take it down to the bank and get your reward.
Thank you, Sheriff. I probably won't get a chance to stop out and see Morgan. I wonder if you'd do me a favor. I'm gonna leave an envelope for him over at the hotel. Would you see he gets it?
Yeah, sure. I guess you're heading back to Virginia City, huh?
Yeah, on my way home. Thanks again.
You bet.
Howdy.
Leaving town?
Yeah, I was planning on it. How much I owe you?
It'll be $1. You know, lots of folks around here are not going to be sorry you're leaving town. Your horse is in the corral. You want me to saddle him?
No, never mind. I'll take care of it. What's that?
Fire, and I'm head of the volunteers. Oh, your gear is right there.
Don't shoot him, Boone. Not just yet.
Well, I wasn't fixing to, Verge. Sure do wish I could see the fire, though.
Yeah. Wonder how that got started.
I reckon most everybody in town will be going to the fire. Don't you, Brother Boone?
Yeah, well, I don't reckon there'd even be anybody around to hear a gunshot.
Walt?
He's down, Verge. I can see him from here.
Sheriff, I promise I'm really leaving this time.
Goodbye, Cartwright.
Hey, Morgan.
Well, Joe, how am I ever going to thank you?
No, just forget it. Remember, you owe us a visit. Hey, there's somebody else I want to say goodbye to.
He left $2,000 at the bank in my name. Opened the only bank account I've ever had.
Well, maybe he figured it was your bullet that killed Luke Jordan.
Sheriff, if those men had thought I killed him, I'd be dead now. I wouldn't have stood a chance against him. Not even with 2 good arms.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, looks like we're both leaving town the same day.
I ran away from Richard once, but this time I'm running to him. I'm going to meet him in Dayton, Joe.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
Well, I guess I better be on my way. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Get this one up here. Yeah.
Well. Gotta see you back in one piece.
About time.
What do you mean about time? Pa gave me a week off, I took a week.
Seems like a month. I've been doing your chores, you know.
It's funny, seems like a month to me, too.
Listen, how's Morgan and Martha getting along?
Oh, Morgan's just fine. Ranch looks real good. Hey, matter of fact, Morgan's even managed to put a little money away in the bank.
Good to hear that.
Anything special happen?
Anything special? Yeah, I think I better tell you about it at dinner. I'll go clean up. Oh, I wanted to ask you a favor of you, Pa. Yeah, the next time I ask you for a week off, don't give it to me.
Gabrielle, straighten your hat. You look a mess.
Sarah, must we go so fast? Heather's feeling poorly.
I told you we have to get to Virginia City before the auction. Heather, dear, we'll be there soon. Lorraine, put your dress down. Your limbs are showing.
Comes old Toothless with the new stage.
Must be some kind of emergency. Toothless don't normally go that fast.
We're going to be arriving soon, and I do not want the Lowell girls to look like a bunch of dance hall tramps.
Hey, he lost the wheel, Paul. Sure did. Get up, get up.
What is this nonsense? Are you determined to kill us? Oh, ladies, please, remain in your seats.
We lost the wheel, ma'am. You ladies all right in there?
Lost a wheel? Well, I've never heard of such a thing. How long is it going to take to fix this carelessness?
Don't you worry, Nana. I'll get it fixed just as soon as I can.
You don't seem to understand. I must be in Virginia City before noon. I told you that.
Well, I was driving too fast in the first place to get you there ahead of schedule when this dang wheel busted.
Sarah, we must be thankful. The Lord was merciful.
You all right, ma'am?
I must get to Virginia City by noon. How much will you charge to convey
Well, we're
me
going
there?
that way, ma'am. I'm Ben Cartwright.
How much?
Oh, well, there won't be any charge, ma'am. We're going that way.
Upon paying, I'll make it a fair price. And meanwhile, it's my sister's in the luggage. Young man,
you all
would
right,
you get
ladies?
up there and get that luggage down? Driver,
Yeah,
untie it, please.
So you all right now?
Yes.
All right. Here we are.
Please hurry.
We'll all be fine now. There you are, ma'am.
All right, now come on over here. Now.
Here, give me a hand with that.
Hey, you watch it, Ben.
All right.
Watch it big one here, all right? It's heavy now.
All right.
Everything all right?
Young man, will you stop fidgeting and get aboard?
Oh.
You're making me lose time.
Ma'am, I think I'll just ride on in with Toothless Paul after we get that wheel fixed.
Well, as you wish. Make up your mind. Drive on, but drive carefully. We don't have time to be picking up baggage all the way.
Yes, ma'am. See you later, horse. There.
I don't know how long them gals are going to be around Virginia City, but I'll tell you one thing. As long as that female sergeant major around, things ain't going to be the same.
Sheriff's office is right over there, ma'am.
Oh, apparently we're in time.
I'll take your sisters back to the hotel.
Thank you, sir. Gabrielle, you register for us. And keep in mind that we do not need the most expensive suite. Lorraine, you look after Heather. I shan't be long. And please, remember who you are and act accordingly. Sir,
Ma'am?
are you in charge here?
Well, that all depends, ma'am. What of?
I'm referring to the auction.
No, that'll be our Mr. Billings there, the red-headed fella.
Thank you. My dear sir, I understand you're in charge here.
Charge of what, ma'am?
Of the auction. What else?
Oh, nothing else, ma'am. Only the auction.
I'm Miss Sarah Lowell of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here to inquire if property belonging to me and my sisters is to be auctioned off here today.
Of course 'tis. Delinquent taxes. Now, wasn't that property your uncle left you a short while ago? Well, the law requires...
I wrote you as soon as I received the sales notice. And I told you that my sisters and I would be out here to operate the property. I asked you to please not sell it until we arrived. You didn't acknowledge that letter. Why?
Didn't ever get no such letter.
You didn't get it. I wrote it 2 days after the sale notice appeared. That was almost a month ago. Well, we're here now. I suggest you strike the property from the sales list.
You mean
You got the money to pay all them back taxes and charges?
In my letter, I ask for a certain amount of time.
Well, the law plainly says that all those taxes have got to be paid before auction time today. Now, if you ain't got all the money, that Lancaster place goes on the block.
But I've come all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, just to prevent that from happening. I have $1,000. I'll pay you the rest as soon as our home in Boston is sold.
Miss Lowell, I got to get the auction going.
You can't sell it right out from under us like that. It's all we have. It's our property. We don't even have enough money to return east on.
I don't have nothing to do with that lady. My hands are tied.
Please, listen to me a moment.
Excuse me, Miss Lowell, but your sister at the hotel asked me to come by and tell you that Miss Heather, well, she was...
Miss Heather, what happened?
Well, they sent for the doctor, so she...
The doctor?
Well, she fainted, probably from exhaustion, but she was fine.
Please, you must wait. You must wait. My sister's ill. I'll be back.
What's this about taxes? How come you can't let them wait a bit?
Gone too long already, Mr. Cartwright. They either got to pay all the taxes or that place goes on the block.
Well, wait a minute now, Billy. Hold on now. Get $1,000. How much do they owe?
About $2,800.
$2,800? Well, that's ridiculous. Never heard of land around here being more than $200-300 a year in taxes. That's 10 times that much.
Sorry, Mr. Cartwright. I got to get the sale started.
Will you please keep still now? All I want to know is how come they owe that much.
Oh, Mr. Lancaster got behind before he died.
What, 10 years behind? Now, come on. Now, you got to give him a chance.
Billing should have been started by now. It's 5 after.
Watch your blood pressure, Nate.
We've got a lot riding on this, you know.
What's the matter? What's holding things up out there?
They're here.
Who's here?
Them Lowell sisters, all the way from Boston.
How could they be here? The stage never came in.
I don't know how. All I know is that one of them came in and tried to stop me from selling the place not more than 10 minutes ago.
They bring the money?
Not all of it.
And start the sale and get it over with.
But what if what?
We gotta have that property. We got 500 head of cattle on the way in right now.
It ain't only those women anymore. Ben Cartwright's got his nose in on it now, too.
Cartwright? What's he got to do with the Lancaster place?
Never mind. Those cattle will be here in a week, and we've got to keep that Box Canyon available. You get out there and get that sale started just like nothing had happened, you hear? And remember, you've got the law on your side.
But if anybody looks at them records too close...
There ain't anybody gonna look at those records. Now get out and do what you're told.
I'll do it.
One slip, little man. Just one slip.
Billings, remember, 5,000's the limit on that place. You see we get it.
You'll get it.
Apple.
What?
I left old Toothless over at the blacksmith shop. Them half-looting ladies have a nice ride in the carriage.
Oh, so what do you know about the Lancaster place?
Huh?
What's important? What do you know about the Lancaster place?
Well, it's about 4 sections in all. There's 2 of them that are good bottom land. There's a couple of sections. The rest of it's all good top grazing. A little river runs through it. Some pretty rough canyons. Why?
What about buildings?
Reckon as good as you want. There's a good main house, and then... What's all this about in here?
All right, folks. The auction's ready to begin. First piece of property up for sale is the old Lancaster place. Now, you've got the description, about 2,500 acres. Back taxes and costs come to $2,781.76. Now, do I hear a bid?
$2,900.
$2,900. I got a bid of $2,900 high, and I make it a half.
$3,250. For the Lancaster place? It's worth 5 times that.
$3,250's bid.
$4,000.
$4,000. I got a bid of $40,000.
$2,200 U.S. money.
$4,200 is bid.
We must fall back on our faith, sir. Surely something will happen.
I got a bid of $4,200. $4,200 to what's the rest
join you fellas in South Pasture a little later on. I'm going to town to see the Lowells.
All right. Hey, how come you loaned them all that money anyway?
Well, a couple of reasons, I guess. One, the Lowell gal's kind of sickly. But more importantly, Uncle Reed Lancaster sure helped me out a lot when I was starting this place.
Paul, the Lowells don't know nothing about ranching.
All the more reason to help them.
I just don't think women can run a ranch, especially Boston women.
Son, you haven't met Sarah Lowell yet. That woman could run anything she set her mind to.
Speak of the devil.
Was that,
Yeah, looks like him. Hop Sing, make us up a pitcher of cool lemonade and bring out some cookies, will you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Cartwright. Right away.
Well, Miss Lowell, how are you? Welcome to the Ponderosa, Miss Lowell. Oh, how nice to see you. Oh, you've met my son, Hoss.
Ladies.
And my other son, Joseph.
This is not a social call, Mr. Cartwright. I have drawn a promissory note in your favor, and I've secured it with a trust deed. Now, I believe you'll find everything in order. I trust you'll find the terms satisfactory. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Miss Lowell, I've just had some cool lemonade prepared. Wouldn't you? It's a nice... Joseph, will you get the lemonade, please?
Yeah, sure.
And it's a long, hot ride back into town.
Isn't that a nice invitation, sir? I'd love a cool glass of lemonade.
Oh, it'd be nice and refreshing.
We are no longer living in town, Mr. Cartwright. We moved to our new home this morning, and we must get back.
I didn't realize you'd already moved up to the ranch. I thought Miss Heather was so ill.
Our sister is much improved, thank you. Lorraine, we have a full day's work ahead of us.
But, Sarah, Mr. Cartwright has already sent for the lemonade.
Mammy will be here in just a jiffy.
Lorraine, please get right up here. I'm sure the gentleman will excuse us.
Miss Lowell, is there something we can do to help you?
No, thank you. We're quite capable of managing for ourselves, thank you.
Well, Miss Lowell, it seems to me
Lorraine?
that... Well, it's not necessary to...
Where'd they go?
They didn't want any lemonade.
We got all this lemonade.
Who gonna drink it? Or the chicken?
Give it to the cat. Chicken's had enough.
真係啊，搞唔掂，日日做工，天光做到天黑，嘥晒啲時候，嘥晒啲心機。
Heather, that's enough now. You better put that down and rest a while.
Well, Sarah, I'm just trying to help.
Well, you'll do that nicely, dear, by regaining your health.
Well, but I really feel good. I mean, I haven't felt this well in years.
Well, don't be a martyr about it, dear. Lie back and rest a while. Lorraine, would you finish beating that rug? I'm going to get dinner on.
All right.
Oh, Sheriff?
How do you do? I just dropped by to see how your ladies was getting along. Only looking out for your welfare, you understand? It is the law's job to protect you.
Well, Sheriff, you can rest assured if we need any help, we'll be sure and call on you.
All right. You ladies do have a gun on the premises, do you not?
A gun?
Well, maybe I should ask, do any of you ladies know how to handle a gun?
No, Sheriff. We're from Boston. That's civilized there. Has been for a good long while.
Well, you're a good long ways from Boston right now, ma'am. And it might be a good idea if you get yourselves a gun, just in case.
The 10 Commandments say, thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, but there's lots of mountain lions around here from time to time.
Well, we're not hunters, Sheriff. We're trying to establish a home here, not a menagerie.
Thank you, ma'am. But if you do need any help in a hurry, you can always call on Ben Cartwright and his boys. They're around here everywhere.
You mean the Cartwright Ranch surrounds us?
Well, practically. Your strip of land kind of cuts into Ponderosa like a small finger pointing down the north. Well, I better be getting back to town. Good day, ladies.
So that's why Ben Cartwright was so generous.
What do you mean, Sarah?
I mean, his ranch practically surrounds us. He holds our note. If we can't pay it off, he can foreclose and get our ranch for less than $3,000. And all his talk about Western neighborliness and friendship.
Lorraine! I said to beat the rug, don't destroy it.
Got company, Captain. What are you two doing here? I thought you were with the herd.
Smokey sent us along ahead to make sure everything's all right. It's a good thing he did, too.
What do you mean by that?
He means those cattle will be arriving in 2 more days, so you better have that Box Canyon ready, Catlin, and fast.
I've never let you boys down yet, so don't start worrying now.
If you'd have let me say something at that auction.
And alert the whole town by starting a fracas with the Cartwrights.
Smokey and the others ain't gonna like this hang-up. Not after fighting sheriffs and ranchers all the way from Montana.
They're counting on you two to handle them cattle, same as always. There's near 500 head just in that first bunch alone.
I've handled your stolen herds for years and made money for all of us. I told you I'd hide this bunch until the trail cools, and that's exactly what I intend to do.
No? Where are you gonna put them? Under your hat? Listen, we need that canyon. We need it now. I say if those Boston females are in our way, let's kill them.
That's what I say, Captain.
Well, I say no. I've stayed in business a long time, but not by acting like a fool. There are other ways of getting rid of those women.
Like what?
Like using our brains. It seems to me that it shouldn't be too difficult to take care of 4 little lambs from Boston. Boston. We'll give them an old-fashioned Boston tea party.
Yeah. We'll scare them half to death.
Run them right out of the country, and nobody will ever be the wiser.
Oh, I love it out here, Lorraine. You know, I've felt so much better just since we've come here.
Oh, we're all glad to see you happy again, Heather.
I just wish Sarah would give me a chance.
Have you seen Gabrielle anywhere? I've been looking all over for her.
She's probably up in her room reading the Bible.
Are you all right, dear?
Oh, I'm fine, Sarah.
Well, now, as soon as you're finished there, you lie down and conserve your strength.
Yes, Sarah. Oh, she still treats me as if I were a 3-year-old child.
She doesn't mean to, Heather. It's just that, well, I suppose she's so used to taking care of us, it's just become a habit with her.
Heather, do this. Gabrielle, do that. And Lorraine, beat the rug. Don't destroy it. Oh, and the way she treats other people. Like the Cartwrights. I mean, they're only trying to be nice to us, Lorraine. And I felt so sorry for that poor Sheriff Coffey this afternoon.
You know, did it ever occur to you that that might be Sarah's way of expressing her love?
Love? By acting like a bossy old stepmother?
No. By giving us the security she herself never had. By protecting us from the outside world and, well, even to the extent of being unpopular with other people and unhappy.
Unhappy? Sarah?
Well, why do you think she gave up the life she loved in Boston? To sell everything and move out here to this strange environment?
I just thought she felt we'd have a better chance here.
Heather.
She did it because of me, didn't she?
Oh, Sarah loves us. In her own way, she's given herself to us always. Since we were children.
I know.
You know, she was little more than a child herself when Father and Mother died in that accident. But you were just a little baby and you wouldn't remember anything of that. You're not the only one indebted to her. We all are. Why, we're the only family she'll ever have.
Oh, Lorraine, I'm so sorry.
We better finish the dishes before Sarah gets back. You know what she'll do.
Fire! The shed's on fire! Sarah!
Heather, stay here!
No, I want to help! Oh, Sarah!
to get it.
No accident. What do you mean? I mean that bottle had kerosene in it. That rag was stuck in it. It was lit and thrown in here.
You mean this fire was...
Arson. Deliberate arson. Who would do such a thing? Not even the devil could be so cruel. I think I know who did. And he may well be the devil.
Roy, if that fire was set, then someone is after the lower place. I can't figure out why. Just can't seem to put my finger on it.
Miss Sarah Lowell thinks she has put her finger on it. She claims that you're trying to scare them off their ranch so as you can get it for your mortgage.
Oh, she does? Well, isn't that nice? That Miss Sarah Lowell, she's sure an orderly woman, isn't she? Likes everything neat and tidy under a nice big heading. The trouble is her headings are all wrong.
But what's the right heading?
I don't know, Roy. Sure wish I did. But I know there's an answer somewhere. I'm going to try to find it. Yeah, they're horsing little Joe with the supplies. I'll see you later, Roy. Let's go over to the courthouse and check the tax records in the Lancaster place. Go back 5 or 10 years, will you? Joe, once we get the supplies back, I'd like you to go over every inch of the lower place. Somebody wants that place so bad, I want to find out why. Good.
Cattle tracks. It's branding iron. Campsite not too old, and it's carving.
That carving's just like the one that Catlin's partner had that day at the auction.
What'd you find?
Well, I found that old Reed Landcastle was delinquent in his taxes, all right. But only in the last year before he died. Those taxes had been increased 9 times more than anybody else paid for land that same size. I tell you, boy, it looked to me like those figures had been changed. I mean, it looked like they'd been smudged or something.
I get it. Hey, Roy, come on.
Joe. Ben? Arthur. What? Well, I'm glad to see you. We were coming out to have a talk with you. What brings you out here?
Well, I just come out to ask Joe a question.
What?
Were you riding around the Lowell sisters' place today?
Yeah.
Then I gotta arrest you.
Oh, what for? I sent him out there.
Heather Lowell took pretty sick late this afternoon. The doc was there, and he said that he found their well polluted.
Well, what are you saying? Do you think I polluted the well?
Joe, I've known you since you were that high. I know that you couldn't possibly do anything like that.
Well, then what are you talking about?
Miss Sarah Lowell signed a formal complaint. And with Joe admitting that he was on their land, I have no choice. I've got to take him in. That's the law.
Oh, that woman.
Heather is a pretty sick girl. I understand that she's never been too strong anyhow, and the doc says that she might die.
Seven, 8, 9, 1,000. There's your bail.
There's your receipt, Ben. I'll release him in your custody until the trial. I'll go get little Joe.
You know, Paul Roy's really taking this serious, ain't he?
You know, Roy, letter of the law copy.
What is he doing out here, Sheriff? Why isn't he in a cell in chains?
He's been bailed out, ma'am. And we don't use change no more.
But he's responsible for poisoning our well.
Oh, Miss Lowell, please be reasonable.
Reasonable? With a would-be murderer?
Miss Lowell, I'm sure that even back in Boston, a man is entitled to his freedom under proper bond.
Very well, Sheriff. I see what civil protection consists of here. I shall set my own house in order without recourse to your so-called law.
Please try to understand my sister. Gabrielle and I don't think you're behind this. It's just that Sarah's upset over Heather.
I should like to purchase 4 guns with suitable ammunition, please.
What was that again, ma'am?
4 guns with ammunition, sir.
Sarah, what are you doing?
My dear, Boston is behind us. This is the uncivilized West. We must arm ourselves to meet it on its own terms.
Well, come on in, ladies, and take your pick.
Sure wish that Sarah was as sweet as that sister of hers, Lorraine.
Well, I think the time has come to have a talk with that woman, a real talk.
Yeah, I think you'd have more luck talking to a mule.
Well, just the same, before things get any worse, I'd like to ease her mind.
How you figuring on doing that?
Well, Hoss, you and I could ride out over there and have a nice, pleasant talk with her, that's all.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll get my horse and go with you.
No, you've been through enough today. The only place you're going, young fella's home.
of us together could have managed.
I think it'd be better if I tried alone, Gabrielle.
Afternoon, ladies.
Now, be of some help to you, Miss Lowell?
Oh, thank you.
Let me get that thing lined up for you. There. There you go. Anytime I can be of help, you just let me know, will you?
Oh, isn't that a nice thing to say, Gabrielle?
Indeed it was.
Well, how are you today? Is your sister Sarah around? We'd like to talk to her if we may.
Well, she's gone out to the pasture, Mr. Cartwright, but I'm sure she'll be back shortly.
Well,
Shouldn't we ask them in?
Yes, I suppose.
Won't you come in, gentlemen?
so you see, by helping you young ladies out, we're just trying to pay off an old debt to your uncle.
We want to help however we can.
The first thing we got to do is find out who's behind all this trouble.
We already know who's behind it, Mr. Cartwright. I ask you to leave this house.
But, Sarah, the Cartwrights are our guests.
My son and I just came over as neighbors.
I'll ask you to leave in the same fashion. Immediately.
Miss Lowell, you may find this hard to understand, but we just came over to try to help out.
You seem determined to bury us under deeper and deeper obligations.
And you seem equally determined to fight the wrong people. You know, if you expended half the energy on making friends as you do on discouraging them, I think you'd find things a whole lot easier. I'm going to tell you something, Miss Lowell. You're going down to defeat. You seem determined to do that at your own hands. And you're going to drag your sisters along with you.
Well, let that be my responsibility. Please leave.
Good day, ladies.
Sarah, how could you?
Did you hear him? He practically threatened me.
He did not. You're the one who provoked him. Why'd you have to go and spoil everything?
Oh, stop sniveling, Lorraine. Please, go see to Heather. Dr. Martin says she's to have constant care.
Sarah, will you put that weapon down? It's Lucifer's tool.
Gabrielle, we have no choice. We must defend our land. This is the only thing these people understand.
Now, what'd you find out?
Well, I'll tell you what we found out. Found out that Clerk Billings had sneaked into Captain's office a while ago.
It ties them all together.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? They haven't been able to drive the Lowell sisters off that ranch, and now I bet you they're going to try something a little more drastic. Let's see Roy Cobb here.
All right. I've taught you how to load the guns, and we've practiced taking window positions 4 times. And we'll do it again and again until we can do it in our sleep.
Sarah, I'm exhausted. And besides, I will not ever shoot one of those dreadful things.
It's a question of survival.
Well, there must be other ways for ladies to defend their house.
Sarah, I'm ready.
Heather, get back to your bed. You're not well enough to fight.
But Sarah...
Get back to your bed. In this savage country, even ladies must defend their homes against wild animals and Indians and their neighbors if necessary.
But there's no need to fight the Cartwrights.
Lorraine, I will not have you weeping at the mere mention of their names.
But Sarah, she's right. The Cartwrights are our friends.
I will not discuss it.
All right, get your bows and arrows.
All right, ladies. Positions. Excellent. Now, if anyone sets foot on our land, they'll pay the penalty.
Nobody's getting away.
You're wonderful. You dropped that Indian like a stone.
Oh, it was easy.
Heather, take cover.
No, I want to fight too.
Don't argue.
I'm not arguing, but I'm not a baby anymore. And besides, who drew first blood? There's something moving out there.
Don't panic. I see one. I will not tolerate any panic. Sarah, it's an Indian. Shoot! Oh, I can't. Shoot! Gabrielle!
Come on, Billings. This is more than we bargained for. You and your stupid ideas.
Get some more bullets.
I'll show you how to drive them out and won't be with any kids' tricks either.
What are you going to do?
What we should have done in the first place. All right, get rid of those stupid bows and arrows. Get your guns. We're going to settle this once and for all.
You mean we're going to kill them women?
We need this land, don't we? Now get your guns. Get going.
They're coming back. Yes, I see them.
They've all got guns.
Oh, I'm afraid. I'm terribly frightened. Shoot.
Mr. Cartwright, my sisters and I are deeply indebted to you. I can only say for myself that when one is in strange country, one must exercise extreme caution.
Of course, Miss Lowe, we can understand that.
Quiet generosity seems to be a habit with you. You must come over for tea one day this week. And bring your sons, too. There's so much that we'd like to ask about ranching. So much to learn.
Well, you just ask the questions, ma'am, and we'll be glad to supply the answers if we can.
You know, Paul, I just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. 4 little ladies from Beacon Hill holding off that whole Indian tribe like seasoned troopers, huh?
I think I know a few people that can believe it.
Yeah, they can sure believe that over there.
Well, ladies, time to start supper.
Sarah.
Well, I suppose seasoned Indian fighters do deserve special consideration. Company dismissed. Won't you come in for some supper, gentlemen?
We'll be happy to. If you need any potatoes, the young hoss will do it.
Let me do that. You ain't got no business doing all this old heavy work.
Why, say, I've been cleaning stalls and pitching hay since before you was born.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time you was taking a break, huh?
Charlie'll be back in a minute. Say, I'm afraid he ain't found time yet to order that new harness that your father wanted.
That's all right, Miss Annie. I can come back later to pick that up.
Annie?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Oh, howdy, Hoss.
Howdy, Charlie.
Good to see you. Wait till you see what I got here.
Yeah?
You didn't bring home another one of them surefire money-making deals, did you? Like that post hole digger that did everything except dig.
No, sir. No, sir. That was foolishness. Wait till you see this. This is a pure quill. And I can sell them for $10 a piece, maybe more. Thousands of them. 99% profit.
That's a stirrup, ain't it, Charlie?
Well, not a stirrup, it's the stirrup. That's the kind them Eastern dudes wear on them pancake saddles. Feel it. No slip. Guaranteed to hold the boot. Silver-plated. Guaranteed silver-plated iron. Not wood like ours. Guess how much they're going to cost me?
Well, I ain't got no way of knowing it.
Well, go on, guess.
Well, I don't know, Charlie.
How much are they going to cost, Charlie?
50 cents apiece.
50s. How much money have you given them so far?
Who said I give them anything? This calls for a celebration, Hoss, and the drinks are on me. We'll be back directly, Eddie. I don't want you doing any heavy lifting while we're gone. Just leave everything where it is. I'll straighten it up when I get back.
You always do, Charlie. Now, mind you, don't forget dinner. And, Hoss, I'm expecting you.
Miss Annie, I'd love to, but I've got to get back.
Don't you say no. I've got the nicest peach pie waiting for you.
Doggone it, Miss Annie, you got the most convincing way arguing I ever heard.
Good. I'll see you later.
You know, Hoss, I didn't let Annie in on everything. These females ain't got too good a head for finance. But what would you say if I could get the franchise on that stirrup for every state west of the Mississippi?
Oh, Charlie, they gonna give you that for nothing?
Well, they're next door to nothing. $100. And I got that much tucked away. How many horses do you think's in the state of Nevada alone? 1 million? 2 million? At $10 apiece? That's why I say things never look better, Hoss. Huh? freezing blizzard
Bruno.
wind. Blizzard blowing down on me. Out there on that hogback sits old Black Kettle, surrounded by his warriors, over 100 of them.
What'd you do, Charlie? Did you fight him?
Fight? No. I would have riled him up. No, sir. No, sir. I rigged me up a white flag. I walked out there, knowing any minute one of them savages might run me clean through with a lance. And I says, Black Kettle, I know you boys is hungry. I know it. But you're not going to get no grub fighting for it here. And then a lot of other palaver, all an Injun, of course. And, well, anyway, I ended up trading an old slab-sided beef for two of the prettiest pinto ponies you ever seen in your life. The general told me afterwards, he says, what I done probably saved the whole settlement from being burnt clean to the ground.
They give you a medal, Charlie?
No. But I got something a lot better. I traded them two pintos to the general for a half dozen draft horses. And that was the foundation of my first fortune.
When'd all this happen, Charlie?
Christmas time, December, it was.
This was Kansas territory?
That's what I said.
You better get your time straight, because the Cheyennes had already gone south by then.
You calling me a liar, Sonny?
The 7th Cavalry was my outfit. I was there.
I asked you. You calling me a liar?
Well, maybe I got a little mixed up myself.
Maybe you did. You young whippersnapper. Let that be a lesson to you. All right, everybody to the bar. Drinks are on old Charlie. You have nothing to hold that.
No, thank you, Charlie. Man, me and you better be heading for home. Miss Anna's gonna skin us alive.
Mr. Connors, would you mind if I sat down a minute?
Buddy, we just fixed to leave.
Oh, sit down. We got lots of time. Not Mr. Connors. Folks call me Charlie.
Well, I was just listening to your stories, and well, you must be a real rich man with all them deals you got going, huh?
I do all right. Lord's been good to me. What's your name, honey?
Barker, sir. Billy Barker.
Where you from, Billy?
All over. I'm just fixing to go down to Arizona now.
Mm-hmm. Show your little strap, then.
Oh, no, sir. I ain't looking for no handouts. I'm just looking for a job and thought you might need a little help somewhere.
Well, you come around the barn tomorrow morning. We'll see what we can do.
Yes, sir. I'll do that, sir.
Bruno? I seen her run off without my cash. No. This is my party. Put that on my bill, Bruno.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Hoss.
See you tomorrow, boys. Hoss, you go on in. I'm going down to the barn for a while.
Charlie, Miss Annie's waiting supper for us.
I know, but I got to get at that paperwork. A lot of paperwork connected with setting up a big deal, you know.
Yeah. Charlie, if I was you, Charlie, I'd give that stirrup thing a whole bunch of thought before I invest any money in it.
Don't you worry, Hoss. I'll get that 100 back and 100 times over. Tell Annie I'll be along after a while.
Yeah, I'll tell her, Charlie.
Come in.
Hi, Miss Annie.
Hello, Hoss. Supper's ready. Isn't Charlie with you?
No, ma'am, I don't reckon Mr. Charlie's very hungry. He's down there working with that stirrup thing. Here, let me get that.
Oh, thanks.
I got it.
Another one of them and my arms are ready to drop off.
You ain't got your kitchen cook yet, huh?
Charlie's going to do that for me one of these days.
Sure he is.
What does that mean?
I know Charlie, Miss Annie.
Do you?
Well, I mean, I mean, we're friends, you know, like...
What do you know about him? Know that he's a nice old man that likes to buy drinks for everybody and tell stories? And go around pretending that he's something that he's not. Is that right?
Yes'm.
What story did he tell in the saloon?
Miss Annie just told a story about Cheyenne and a beef or nothing, you know.
Horse? He's over at my house. If I know horse, he's still eating. Well, I didn't expect to see you till tomorrow morning. And I suppose the fella's got to have some place to sleep, huh? You hungry?
You bet your sweet life I am, old man. But I ain't gonna be much longer, am I? I mean, it just doesn't seem right to me for an old man like you to have all that money and I ain't got none at all.
What are you talking about? What money?
Well, I heard you tell your friend that you got some money hid around here somewhere. And I want it.
I got no money hid.
I heard you tell your friend that you got $100. Now, you're going to tell me where it is, and you're going to tell me right now.
Please, that's all I got left. That's all my wife and me's got left in this world, son.
Well, now, you tell me where you got that money hid, or the next time you open your mouth, you're going to be chewing on this.
I'll get it for you.
Charlie, Charlie. You all right? The boy's dead.
Howdy, Hans.
Hi, Roy.
Glad I found you at home. I'm going over to Carson City, and I brought that deposition statement of yours by to sign.
Fine.
You take a good look at it, and if it's all right, you can sign it right there in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, Roy. You got a pencil? Yeah. Let me use you for a desk.
All righty. I knew I seen a wanted poster on that Billy Barker somewheres.
Yeah?
Look at this. He's wanted up in Miller's Falls for stealing the horse. Ain't much of a reward, but you may as well put in for it.
I'll tell you what, Roy. Why don't you just give it to old Charlie? I got an idea he and Miss Annie could use it.
Well, that's up to you if that's the way you want it.
Yeah, let's do it that way. You plan on holding an inquest?
No, I think the facts speak for themselves, Hoss. You might drop by the office, though, say day after tomorrow, in case the coroner wants to ask any questions or anything, huh?
Be happy to. Roy.
Yeah?
About that reward, let's just keep that a little secret between you and me, all right?
That will do. Goodbye, boy.
I do.
Oh, I sure do thank you for coming by, Hoss.
Yeah.
I tell you folks, you'd never believe it if I was to tell you the truth. But I will tell you this. A lesser man than old Charlie's never been able to face up to him.
I give up trying to get him off that soapbox, because to hear him tell it, he's Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, and Wild Bill Hickok all rolled into one.
Yeah. Well, but he's harmless, Roy. I reckon if it takes no more than that to make a man happy, the least me and you can do is go along with it, huh?
You're right about that.
See you, Roy.
Yeah.
He had that cold killer gleam in his eye. Well, he has his pistol in his hand when he comes in. And he threatened me with it. I dared him to shoot. I said, you pull that trigger and you'll have this whole town down on you in the flicker of an eyelid. Well, he paused there for a minute while he tried to stare me down. Finally, he had to avert his gaze. And in that second, I started to make my play. But I give him credit. He was quick. I don't need no gun for you, old man, he says. I'll just cut your gizzard out. And he makes a lunge for me. And I sidestepped and let him go on by.
How'd he do that, old man?
I know.
Well, was he all crouched down at you?
It all happened so fast I couldn't.
Pretty quick, was he?
Why, faster than greased lightning.
What kind of a knife did he use?
Well, it was a wicked-looking thing, Spanish.
Like that?
Who are you, boy?
We're Billy Barker's brothers, old man.
What do you want?
What do you suppose we'd want, old-timer? Just thought maybe we'd even up the score a little bit until we got a look at you and heard you talk. Now I don't know as we're big enough.
Real ferocious looking, ain't he?
You get out of here. Leave him alone. Go on, get out of here.
We got us a regular old pair of mountain lions here, don't we?
I think you two boys better move on.
Oh, well, we better move on then, brother.
Yeah.
You're standing in our way there.
I ain't intending on moving. I ask you peaceful like. Beat it.
These boys giving you trouble, Hoss?
No trouble, Sheriff. These fellows are just leaving, wasn't you, fellas?
Oh, yes, no trouble, Sheriff.
Come on, Joyce.
We'll see you around, old-timer.
It's a good thing you showed up, Sheriff. I was starting to get mad.
Yeah. Say, Hoss, if them boys do give you any trouble, you let me know now, you hear?
Yeah. They ain't going to give nobody no trouble. There's just a lot of talk. Hoss and I got to handle them with one hand.
I don't doubt that, Charlie. By the way, there is $100 in reward money coming to you. That boy Billy was wanted.
How'd you know? $100. I figured that boy for a hard case the first time I ever seen him. Wait till the boys hear about this down at the saloon, eh?
Yeah. Charlie, you got a minute I'd like to talk to you.
Sure, come on in. I want to tell you something. Things are sure looking up. They've never been better. You know how much money we've taken in so far? Let me show you.
Charlie.
Huh?
Charlie, you know, the truth is going to out, Charlie. You got to know that.
What do you mean, the truth?
Charlie, what I mean is, you can't just go on telling people that you killed Billy Barker. I mean, when he died by accident, that's the plain truth.
Accident? Why, he come at me with that knife. He come at me all over the place.
Charlie.
He thought he had me scared. When he found out different. Come right down to it, he wasn't so tough as he might have been. I'd have handled his kind before. They used to laugh at old Charlie. They did. But now they got to listen when he talks.
Charlie.
Yeah, Hoss, I got something out back I want to do. I wonder if you'd kind of look after things here for a little while, eh?
Where's Charlie?
Hi, Miss Annie. Well, he's out in the corral. What?
Good, I need to talk to you. I've been talking to Roy about them Barkers.
Yeah?
They killed a man over in Miller Falls last year. He insulted their sister, they said, and then they provoked him into a fight and shot him dead. Nobody did anything about it. Self-defense.
Well, Miss Annie, I guarantee you they ain't gonna hurt Charlie.
Oh, no?
Well, see, Charlie didn't have nothing to do with killing Billy Barker.
Well, I know he didn't.
You know?
Oh, you forget. I've been married to Charlie for 30 years.
Yeah. Then you know what he's got to do, don't you?
You really want him to stand up in front of this whole town and tell him that he's a liar and a fake?
Oh, Miss Annie, Dad Burn, I know it ain't going to be easy, but there ain't no other way around it.
Well, that'd just kill him, that's all. I don't mean the outside kind of killing that would put him in his grave. I mean he would shrivel up inside, and that's the worst kind of death. That's the death of a soul. Hoss, there is another way. I got a little money put by. I've been saving it. I don't think he knows about it. It ain't much, but I think it's enough. I want you to tell Charlie that you need him to go away on business for the Ponderosa. Maybe Montana, he'd like that. Something real important that'd keep him for several weeks. You think you could do that, Hoss?
I reckon I could come up with some kind of a... But would he do it?
Well, I could try to persuade him.
When do you want me to talk to him?
Well, I don't know, but I could let you know.
Look, Miss Annie, don't you worry about nothing. Charlie's gonna be all right.
Hoss, you're a real good friend.
Hello, Hoss. Like a beer?
Bruno, no, thanks. Have you seen the Barker boys? They been around?
They're in the back room.
Thanks.
They've been hitting a bottle kind of heavy. You take care.
Yeah. Thanks, Bruno.
Oh, we got company.
Sure we do.
Come right in. Don't be bashful, Cartwright. Here, have yourself a drink.
No, thanks. I want to talk to you.
Al, we sort of figured on that.
You sober enough to listen to me and remember what I'm going to tell you?
I got a mind like a bear trap, friend. Once it takes a grip, it holds on.
I'm sorry about your brother. I got brothers of my own. But you got this thing all wrong. You see, Billy was trying to rob the livery stable, and there was a fight, and he fell on his own knife.
It looks like you're gonna owe me.
Now, just hold on. You're not finished yet. Are you finished?
No, I ain't. You see, your brother had knocked old Charlie out. He was unconscious, cold. He didn't even see the fight. Didn't know nothing about it. And I don't want you hurting him.
Anybody say anything about hurting that old man, brother? You hear anything like that?
Oh, anything like that. Maybe that old man might have to sweat a little bit, but...
Now, look here. Like I told you, old Charlie didn't know nothing about it. And I want you to leave him alone.
Oh, come on. You ain't gonna say you did it. You ain't gonna say that.
That's right. Your brother's fight was with me.
Well, pay me up, brother. I just won me a bet.
George here said somebody'd come along and try to take the old man's place.
Now, hold on a minute.
But all the talk. Now our fight's with the old man. You do well to keep that in your head.
Well, where did you get that?
That Hope family come in last night, didn't have any money for feed,
So they gave you the cradle.
That little girl had outgrown it, so I figured maybe the Stevens could use it for their new one. You mind?
No.
I didn't think you did. Now, what was that for?
Oh, nothing in particular. Charlie, I just had a long talk with Hoss.
Oh, what about?
Well, it seems that the Ponderosa's got something big doing up in Montana. Only they haven't got anybody to handle it for them.
Oh?
Yeah. He was wondering if you'd be interested in taking care of it for her. It's a big deal, Charlie. Big deal.
Big deal? I wonder why he didn't mention her. I see. And how long is this job supposed to take? Long enough for the Barkers to get tired of hanging around?
Charlie, be reasonable.
Annie, I told you not to worry. I'll take care of things.
Charlie, I know you're not afraid of anything, but Roy Coffey is an old
The
friend.
answer is still no, Annie. I'm not going to run to the sheriff because of a couple of saddle bumps. Now, what would the people of this town think if
Charlie? Charlie? Miss Annie?
Hoss?
Charlie, I was just going to go over and get a beer. Would you care to join me?
I think that's a great idea. You get them other ideas out of your head, Annie. I'll be right back. Hiya, boys. Things are looking up. Old Charlie's here. How are you, Hank? Good day to you, Sam. How about a beer?
Why not? You're looking pert today, Charlie.
Well, it's a great day, and that's a fact. You might as well draw us 3 tall ones there, Bruno. Sam, you know, that reminds me. Did I ever tell you about the... Well, how's the missus, Hank?
Fine, Charlie, fine.
Well, I believe we need another bottle.
Well, Better days, Hoss. See, Doc. Ever tell you about that time down in Natchez when I run into old man Rayner's?
Yeah, Charlie. You told me about that.
Oh, yeah. Yes, maybe I did.
I'll tell you one I'd like you to tell me again, Charlie. Tell me about that fight you had with Billy Parker.
Well, you was there. You seen it. What do you mean, tell you about it?
I mean, tell it to me all the way through. I want to hear it all.
No use boring you with that again. It just happened, that's all.
I think you told me that he came at you with a gun first, right?
Well, yeah. Pistol.
And you took it away from him, right?
Well, no, I didn't. He dropped it, and I says to him, there's no use coming to me with that thing. You better... So he dropped it.
How come the sheriff never did find it there on the floor?
Come on now, Hoss. How do I know what happened to the pistol? He maybe threw it outside. Maybe somebody come along the next day and stole it. How do I know what happened to it?
Charlie, there wasn't no pistol, was there? As far as you know, there wasn't even no fight. When I came out there, you was laying there on the floor where you'd been knocked, wasn't you?
Well, no,
Charlie, I fought Billy Barker. I fought Billy Barker. And he fell on his knife, and he died. And you was laying there on the floor all that time out colder than a wedge, wasn't you, Charlie?
Well, you trying to tell me I'm a liar? I thought he was my friend. They give me the reward, me, Charlie Connors. Why'd they give it to me? They give it to me because I deserved it, that's why. Tried to rob me and I stood up to him like a man. That's what happened. That's what happened, Sam. That's the gospel truth. You never run from nobody. I took Billy Barker. Why else would they give me the reward? You tell him, Hoss. Why else?
Because I told the sheriff to give it to you because you needed the money.
Needed the money? Charlie Connors never needed no money. I've had deals all around here. You boys all know. You all know.
Bruno, you got a little rat poison for this beer?
Hoss, nobody's gonna blame you for doing the right thing.
Well, it looks like you're gonna have to give me back my $5.
Yeah, it sure looks that way, don't it?
Now, me, I'm real pleased the way things turned out. Scaring an old man ain't much sport, Cartwright. Now, you, I bet you don't scare.
I've told you boys once, and I'll tell you again. Your brother's death was accidental.
Sure. We'll be seeing you around, Cartwright.
Why didn't you just shoot him and be done with it? I told you to wait, but you had to go ahead and do it your way.
I'm sorry.
Sorry? You know that this whole town is laughing at him? How do you think he's going to face him? Didn't you stop to think what you were doing to him?
Think, Miss Annie, I thought about it all afternoon. I mean, it was his pride or his life.
Charlie's pride is his life.
Maybe you and me can help him get back some of that pride, but if he is dead, there ain't much we can do for him, is there? Where is he, anyhow?
Nobody's seen him since he left the saloon.
Come on, I'll help you find him.
Don't need any more help from you. You've done enough already. Your horse is in the stable. You can pick him up whenever you're ready. Like a tomb in here. Where have you been all day, Charlie? I've been looking all over for you. Been here twice, been all around town.
Wanted to be alone. Suppose you already heard what happened.
I heard.
How that horse could turn on me. How he could tell the lies he told about me.
Lie. You say he lied?
Well, I've had enough for today. I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe it's about time we began to tell the truth around here. Hoss didn't lie. He told the truth.
What are you...
Admit it. You didn't kill Billy Barker, did you?
What are you trying to do to me?
I'm trying to tell you that you don't need another man's courage. You have enough of your own. Lord knows you've lived through enough to kill 100 gunfighters, and you've come through it good and sweet and generous. You don't need these big stories and these big deals.
Just a lying fool, huh?
No. Just a pretender. A man who doesn't think enough of himself to just be himself. Charlie, I love you for what you are. Don't you know that?
I don't see how you can love me. We never had nothing. Always want to get your big house and servants.
I never wanted no big house. I wouldn't know what to do with servants. What I have is enough.
All the work you have to do.
Charlie, we work together. We have each other. Well, sure. I guess there's people that have fine, easy lives. And then there's folks like us that do well just to hang on. But we've hung on together, Charlie. And I don't think we missed a thing.
All right. Gotta go out and finish up in the corral.
Good afternoon.
What are you fellas doing here?
What do you want? I'm going to get the sheriff.
Just behave yourself, old woman. We might not have to hurt him. Say, that's his horse, ain't it? He ain't gonna walk home. He's got to come back here.
And we'll just be right here waiting for him.
And we'll keep him over here and keep him quiet. I'm gonna have a look around. Yeah, he'll be around. We got nothing but time.
What are you going to do to him?
Should be pretty clear, shouldn't it? Now, why don't you keep your mouth shut?
We got you and your old woman sewed up tight. It's either going to be Cartwright or you two. So when he comes in here, don't you make a sound.
Hear that? Yes.
Come right in, big man. Just take it off and toss it right over there. Way over there. When I get through with you, big fella, you're gonna be about 3 feet tall, and I'm gonna cut you right in half.
Why don't you let them go? They ain't done nothing to you.
Oh, no. No, sir. They're going to end up on this knife just like our brother Billy did.
Besides, you oughtn't to worry about them too much. You ought to worry about yourself, because you ain't got long to do that.
I'm going to carve you like a big fat hog, Cartwright.
They'll kill him, Charlie.
Well, they won't.
Sandy, you all right?
Yes. How's Charlie?
Never felt better in my life. Oh, we sure done it, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did, Charlie. I reckon we can kind of turn it over to the sheriff now, though.
Oh, Charlie, you were wonderful.
Well, if that's what being a hero is, I'm never going to tell another story so long as I live. So help me. Oh, there they was. Roy can tell you. 2 of the coldest killers ever to come west of the Cimarron. Out to carve me up with their knives because I disposed of their mad dog brother in hand-to-hand combat. I'm not a killer at heart. Anybody here can tell you that. But when a man is looking at death, he has to rely on his animal instincts. I wasn't so worried about me. It was my friend Hoss Cartwright.
Oh, so it was Hoss you was worrying about, huh? I guess Hoss was scared to death.
Yeah. Well, it's no laughing matter, my cynical young friend. Sure, Hoss is a strapping young feller. But he's muscle-bound. He was outnumbered. Well, them barkers had pistols and knives sticking out of every pocket they owned.
So what did you do, Charlie?
What'd I do? I give him the old Comanche war cry, and I jumped right down amongst them. No weapons, bare hands. For a couple of minutes there, these old fists was busier than a windmill and a hurricane.
Say, what was Hoss doing all this time anyway?
Well, I told you. He was in danger.
Charlie, I was just fixing to take off, so I want to say so long. And I wanted to thank you for saving my life, Charlie. You're a courageous and brave man and a good friend.
There's the mark of a great man. Hoss Cartwright. Not afraid to step up and say thank you.
I guess Charlie ain't never gonna change. And I wouldn't want him to.
There's not many of them left.
I don't blame you. Sort of like it myself.
My personal acquaintance, they haven't all been white men either. Some of the finest humans ever knew, and red men. Yeah, that brings to mind a little altercation I had with Amos Manywound.
Charlie, I never heard that one. Tell him about it.
I'm going to. You remember him, Roy?
Sure, Charlie. Tell him about it.
Amos Manywound. Great chief of the Kickapoos. You know, them anthropologist fellas said he was the finest specimen of aboriginal manhood ever to come out of the plains. Well, Amos and I was joshing around one day, and he challenged me to a wrestling match. Of course, he couldn't know that I'd been tutored by the first terrible Turk ever to step into the ring. You all heard of him. Abdul the Bulbul. Well, we didn't have no ring or nothing. Just went out there in the woods.
Howdy, stranger.
Howdy.
You, where you heading?
That's my business, mister.
Well, I guess it's my business, too, seeing as how this is my property.
This is your spread, huh?
That's right.
Well, I didn't mean to be short with you, mister. I've been riding a long way. I guess this dust is just dried out my good nature.
It's not too cold, but it's wet. Help yourself.
Thanks. Appreciate it. This the way to Virginia City?
Yeah, just over the hill, you pick up the road. You come to the fork, you bear right.
How far is it?
Oh, about an hour's ride.
That's about all me and my horse got left in us.
You plan on staying in Virginia City?
Yeah, I plan to stay there. As long as it takes me to get done what I've got to do. Didn't mean to be trespassing.
That's right. You rest your horse just as long as you want it. Good luck.
Same to you, mister.
I sing a song of pain and blood, the ballad of the Ponderosa. I sing of a man dead in the mud, 'neath the blood tree of the Ponderosa. Doug Preston died in innocence, swinging broken against the skies. Not a word of truth for him was spoken. Oh, damn Ben Cartwright, damn his righteous eyes.
Judge, you learn something new every day. Now, as long as we three have been having lunch together, this is the first time I knew our prosecuting attorney had a sense of humor. Thank you, partner.
It looks like I'm going to need a sense of humor. If this town stays as peaceful as it has been, there won't be any need for a prosecuting attorney.
Don't worry, Dave. Maybe Ben or one of his boys can arrange to get into a little trouble, and then you can become the public defender. How soon before Roy Coffey gets back from his vacation?
Oh, about a week or so. You know, I practically had to file out a warrant against him to get him to take this month off.
That old hard-nose, he thinks Virginia City just can't get along a day without him.
Well, let's not tell him what a good job Deputy Sims has been doing, huh?
Well, entertainment at lunchtime. This town's getting more and more like San Francisco.
Well, come on over here, young man. I see you made it without too much trouble.
Yes, sir, I did. No trouble at all. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
Judge? Just about anything's all right with me.
Well, in that case, I'll do a favor to mine.
I sing a song of pain and hate, of a town full of death and lies. Doug Preston was lynched 'cause they couldn't wait. Oh, damn Ben Cartwright, damn his righteous eyes. Frank Stanley was murdered on a lonely night. Ben Cartwright called the truth a lie. Doug Preston was the only one in sight. Dave Sinclair said he had to die. Judge Borman said with icy eyes, Doug Preston would not go free. No justice under frowning skies, just blood on the roots of the hanging tree.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I seem to have picked an unpopular tune.
Who are you?
Coulter's my name. Coulter Preston.
Preston.
That's a pretty famous name around here, ain't it?
Boy, that was a long time ago. It's forgotten by now.
Well, I ain't forgot it. You see, I'm Doug Preston's son. Y'all seem mighty interested in my song. How about you, Cartwright? You want to hear some more?
I apologize, gentlemen. All right, young man, this is quite enough. I run this hotel, and you're disturbing my guests.
Wait a minute. Mr. Simpson, I think Mr. Sinclair, Judge Bowman and I would like to hear this young man out.
Well, well, what do you know? All three together. The three men responsible for my father's death.
I don't have to listen to this.
That's right, Judge, you don't. Why don't you just lynch me like you did my pa?
No one condones that lynching.
But they still claimed he was guilty, and that's a lie. Another man killed Frank Stanley, and that man went free, while my father was lynched by a mob for a crime he didn't commit.
Would an innocent man break jail before his trial was over?
My father tried to get away because he knew he didn't have a chance, with a so-called eyewitness and a hanging judge waiting for him.
I'm sorry, Ben. I've had just about enough.
That's all right, Judge. You just run along. But just remember, I'm going to keep singing that song. I got my rent paid up at this hotel, and there ain't no law against singing.
Why are you doing this?
Justice. In the memory of an innocent man. And don't you try and stop me. A guitar ain't no gun, and singing ain't no crime. Good day, gentlemen.
Doug Preston ran to save his life. The innocent must be free. His frightened cry stopped late that night when they lynched him on the great blood tree. Frank Stanley was murdered on a lonely night. Ben Cartwright called the truth a lie. Doug Preston was the only one in sight. Dave Sinclair said he had to die. Judge Borman said with icy eyes, Doug Preston would not go free.
What are you doing up here, Paul?
Oh, thinking.
Something wrong?
I don't know. Remember yesterday I told you I met a young man out here when I was on my way back home?
You mean the one with the guitar?
Yeah. Yeah, the one with the guitar. That boy's Doug Preston's son.
Yeah, Doug Preston, yeah? Knew he had a boy. He left here years ago.
Yeah, he did. His aunt took him away right after his father died. But he's back. And he's grown to be a very bitter young man. Oh, not that I can blame him after what he's been through. He believes his father was innocent.
I guess it'd be pretty rough for any boy to accept the fact that his father was a murderer.
It was a lot more than that, Joe. A whole lot more. He blames his father's death on Judge Borman, Dave Sinclair, and me.
That don't make sense. You three did more than anybody else trying to stop that lynching.
I know. But there was a lynching.
Does he think his father was innocent? Doesn't he know you saw his pa run out of the barn the night of the murder?
Refuses to believe it.
He won't believe the truth. There's nothing you can do.
Well, I was thinking maybe there is. If one of you boys believed in something as strongly as he does, I sure hope there'd be someone that you could talk to about it. I think I'm going to ride into town and see if I can't get through to that boy somehow. I'll see you tonight.
Be careful, Paul.
Good evening, Mr. Cartwright.
Simpson? Is the Preston boy in his room?
No, he's not. He's probably still running around town singing that song and raising a fuss. He's been at it all day. I guarantee you, Mr. Cartwright, that I'll have him out of this hotel just as soon as he gets back.
Why? Has he broken any laws?
No, but...
Did he do any damage in the hotel?
No, Mr. Cartwright.
Come over to the chair. What happened to you, boy?
Somebody jumped me in the alley.
I'll get a doctor.
Then you don't have any idea who beat you up, huh?
Already told you, Sheriff, it was too dark to see. Somebody hit me from behind and started working me over. Could have been anybody. I don't have very many friends in this town, Sheriff.
You have any ideas, Ben?
Well, boy's right. He doesn't have too many friends around here. He's caused an awful lot of unrest since coming, but I can't think of anybody who'd get angry enough to do this.
I know somebody that'd be angry enough.
Well, who's that?
The man that murdered Frank Stanley.
Oh, now, just a minute, boy. You ride into town and sing a ballad that makes a lot of loose charges and doesn't offer proof of one of them.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. You think somebody beat me up just for practice? I think somebody in this town thinks I'm getting pretty close to the truth, and they're trying to stop me. I waited 15 years to clear my father's name. The only way anybody's going to stop me now is to kill me.
There's a bitter young man, Ben.
Yeah. Well, he has a right to be.
Oh, that lynching was 15 years ago. It was wrong. The whole town knows that, but it's over and done with now. The boy's father would have hung anyway. He was guilty.
Yeah, I guess he was. I sure thought so then.
Well, but Ben, the evidence.
Yeah. The evidence. Do me a favor. Ask Judge Borman and Dave Sinclair to meet me at the hotel.
Well, it's awful late, Ben.
Yeah, it is late. Maybe 15 years late. Gentlemen.
Good evening, Ben.
Thank you for coming out so late at night. It's real friendly of you.
Yeah, friend or no friend, it better be important, Ben.
Well, I think it's important. Somebody beat up the Preston boy tonight.
Yes, the sheriff told us. But frankly, I'm not surprised, Ben. The boy was looking for trouble.
It's only human nature, Ben. People don't want to be reminded of the lynching, so they strike out at whatever brings up the memory.
That's one possibility.
What's the other?
Well, maybe it's crazy, but I got a strange notion that maybe somebody's trying to keep the boy quiet to protect themselves. Judge, I'd like to go back over the trial records.
But it was an open and shut case, Ben. You yourself saw Doug Preston come out of the barn after the killing.
You had no doubts 15 years ago.
I know I didn't. I know. But that boy was beaten up tonight. Judge, maybe we missed something at the trial. I think we owe it to ourselves and to the Preston boy to make sure that nothing is overlooked.
Well, if you feel that strongly about it, Ben.
I do. I do, Judge. I'll stay in town. We can start going over the records first thing in the morning, if that's all right with you.
All right. Night, Ben.
See you in the morning.
Mr. Simpson, I'll be staying here the night. Could I have my usual room?
Well, certainly, Mr. Cartwright. There you are, sir. I hope there's no trouble.
Sure hope not. Harold? What are you doing up this time of night?
Mother couldn't sleep. She was sitting by the window. Saw you come in the hotel. She wanted to talk to you.
About the Preston boy?
Yes.
Does she know who he is?
No, but she heard him singing. Look, if you could just go upstairs and talk to her. Tell her everything's all right. I'm sure she could sleep then.
No, sure.
Mother, Ben Cartwright's with me.
Ben. Thank you for coming to see me. Sit down.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, I hear you've been a bad girl. You haven't been resting as much as you should.
Oh, I will. I will. I just wanted to talk to an old friend for a few minutes.
That's good to see you.
Who is that boy? The one with the guitar. Who is he, Ben?
Oh, just a boy with a guitar. No reason for you to bother about it.
I keep telling her that, Mr. Cartwright.
There's every reason. Doug Preston was hanged for the murder of my husband. Ben, who is that boy?
Well, you seem determined to know about it. He's Doug Preston's son.
Doug Preston's son.
Yep. I guess the town forgot about that boy.
Yes, I imagine most of the town did forget.
You heard him singing? He's convinced that his father didn't kill Frank. And, he's just come here to find whoever it was that did.
If anybody else did.
Do you think it was someone else?
No, I find it hard to believe it was anybody else, but... Well, somebody beat up that boy tonight. Why? See what I've done by telling you?
No, you've helped by telling me. It's worse wondering and not knowing. One imagines so many things.
Yeah, that's true. It sure is true. Now, Lisa, you get yourself a good night's rest.
Thank you, Ben, I will.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't like that guitar player.
You're not the only one who don't like him, are you?
He's got no right singing about the posse. I don't care if he is Preston's kid. It was a good posse. We did what we had to. I was in it. In fact, you were too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in it all right.
Hey, you. We don't want to hear no more of your songs. As a matter of fact, we don't want you around here no more. You look at me when I'm talking to you. We don't want the son of a stinking murderer hanging around this town.
Here, stay away from the Take your fight outside! Take your fight out!
Sorry I'm late, gentlemen. It's all right, Ben. This may all be unnecessary now. What does that mean? The sheriff was in to see us a few minutes ago. He had to lock up the Preston boy last night. Seems he got into a fight in the saloon and did a pretty good job of smashing it up. Yeah, he couldn't pay the damages, so the sheriff's going to let him cool off for a few hours and then escort him out of town. And that'll be good riddance. Well, whether the boy leaves or not isn't going to change anything for him or for us. We've got to make the boy see... See what? See that the evidence is right? Van Preston was guilty as charged. We all agreed on that 15 years ago. Yes, Dave, we did agree. But maybe we were just a little anxious. If you remember, the man we were trying had already been executed. I'll go over to the sheriff's office and see what I can do for the boy. Meanwhile, will you fellas start going over the evidence? We've been doing that, Ben. We'll get back to it. Thank you.
All right, boy. Your bail's been paid. You're free to go.
Who paid?
Mr. Cartwright.
Son, there's work for you to do and a place for you to stay if you want it.
You're offering me a job?
Why not? There's always room for an extra ranch hand at the Ponderosa. And you look like you've been around cattle, son.
You think I'd be fool enough to accept I'd ride out to the Ponderosa with you? I might never ride back.
Why don't you just let me lock him back up, Ben?
Leave me alone with him for a bit, would you? Son. Son, I'd like to be a friend. But And I reckon you don't believe that, do you?
You're right, I don't.
But you do want to know about your father, don't you? Whether he was guilty or innocent. I've got the judge and the prosecuting attorney working on the evidence, just in case they missed something 15 years ago.
You're doing that?
I want the truth as much as you do.
I don't believe you.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll go with you. But don't expect any thanks for what you're doing. This town still murdered my father. And you're part of this town. Son's name?
Adam.
Oh, yeah, Adam. He play the guitar much?
Oh, yeah. All the time. We kind of miss it. You're welcome to use that one while you're here.
Thanks a lot. I've never had one this good.
Where'd you learn to play?
Just picked it up. I used to listen to my father a lot when I was real young. He was a fine guitar player. Made up songs by the hour.
You seem to have the same gift.
Oh, no. All my father's songs were happy songs.
I bet you could make up a happy song if you tried.
Well, there's one thing I'd have to find out first.
What's that?
What it's like to feel happy.
Well, look, you get yourself cleaned up. I'll see you at supper. Hop Sing, that was delicious. You outdone yourself again.
Young man no like. He eat less than bird.
It was fine. I just wasn't very hungry.
Don't worry. Mr. Hoss, he finish it all anyway. He only one who eat good. Hop Sing stand over hot stove all day. Nobody eat. Pretty soon now Hop Sing quit. 真係啊，日日都係咁樣啦，冇用，真係啊。
Here, don't let him down. Mr. Cartwright, you said something about going over those records again.
Yes, matter of fact, Judge Borman and Dave Sinclair have been working on them all day. I'm going to join them tomorrow.
I certainly would like to see those records.
I think that'd be a very good idea. Tell you what, we'll go to town together first thing in the morning.
Paul, I was sort of figuring on going into town tomorrow anyhow. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, you can ask Dave Sinclair to bring out a copy of the records with him out to the ranch.
Hey, I'll go with you so you don't get lost.
Mm-mm. Huh? Plenty of work for you to do here tomorrow, and don't try to get out of it.
Well, in that case, I think I'll turn in. I'll see you in the morning.
I think I'll hit it too, Paul. Night, Calder.
Good night.
Night, Holmes. I guess I better turn in, too. I didn't get much sleep in that jail last night.
Calder, there's something that I'd like to ask you. Don't quite know how to put it. Well, I suppose the best way is flat out, man to man. What has made you so sure, all these years, that your father was innocent?
Because he told me. And my father wouldn't lie to me, Mr. Cartwright. He said he was innocent, and I believed him deep in my heart.
Well, one of us has to be wrong. Has to be. And that one is going to have to face the truth and accept it.
Yeah, I know that, Mr. Cartwright. I know. What time you think they'll be here, Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, figure they'd be here by now. Around 11, I guess.
That's really a nice piece.
Hey, you've got a good eye, young fella. You know who gave me that? Sam Cole himself. That's a beauty.
I've never seen a collection as nice as yours.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. It's an interesting piece. That's a Belgian blunderbuss. And that middle one there, those are two English carriage pistols. Those are Buccaneers pistols up there. Yeah, pirates used to stick them in their sashes. Oh, I think they're coming. Look at that. Paul! In here.
Paul, what happened?
Kohler shot himself by accident. He only creased his side, but I think we'd better get him into the tea, Doc Martin. Get some hot water, will you?
You won't be able to lie your way out of it this time, Cartwright. He tried to kill me. You hear? He tried to kill me.
Hank? What happened? What's all the excitement?
They got Ben Cartwright in there. He tried to kill that singing fella.
Ben Cartwright?
You heard me. The kid's accusing him of attempted murder. Hey, Hoss, wait a minute. What's going on?
They lock him up, Joe?
Look, boys, we can't say anything. It's...
Well, we just asked a simple question. What's the difference? It'll be in the paper, won't it?
It's in the paper. You can read about it.
Mother, I don't understand why you're getting so excited. I've already told you for the 10th time I'm not trying to keep anything from you.
For 15 long years, I've sat at the window, Harold, watching the street down there. I've seen things that nobody else has ever seen. I know things about this town that nobody else will ever know. This afternoon, I saw Ben Cartwright and his two boys ride into town with Doug Preston's boy and Dave Sinclair. I saw them go into the jail. But I didn't see Ben Cartwright come back out. Tell me, Harold.
Mother, you know what the doctor said about you getting upset?
Tell me, Harold.
All right. Doug Preston's boys accused Ben Cartwright of trying to murder him.
Thank you, Harold.
I was just trying to spare you the upset. It'll all blow over.
Yes, of course.
Don't you think you ought to go to bed now?
No. You go on to your room. I just want to sit here for a while.
The truth was lost for 15 years. Ben Cartwright rode tall and free. But now his sons will know my tears as their father swings from the hanging tree. I sing a song of pain and blood.
You're gonna die. Mr. Cartwright, you're gonna die just like my father did.
They're saying just because it's Ben Cartwright, it couldn't happen?
I didn't say it couldn't happen. I just said I don't think it did.
Well, what the kid says makes a lot of sense to me. Ben beat him up to scare him off, and when that didn't work, he tried to shoot him.
What do you think you are, the judge or something?
I got a right to say what I think. Now, not everybody around here thinks the Cartwrights are as pure as you do. To get that big, you got to tromp on somebody along the way, and that's a fact. Shh. How come you took the kid out to the ranch? Can you explain that?
Hush up, will you?
And then, Mr. Cartwright, you not only posted bail for this boy, but you went even further and invited him out to the ranch. Can you explain why you did this?
Well, I felt badly for the boy. He was it seemed to me, a bitter young man who was destroying himself, I thought, because of a mistaken idea he'd been living with for 15 years.
I didn't make any mistake. I've already proved what I came here to find out.
Go on, Mr. Cartwright.
I figured that I could get through to Coulter. Get through to his mind. Have him live with a family. Something which I guess he didn't have a chance to do before. Have people around him who weren't filled with hatred.
You say, have people around him. Your sons, is that what you mean?
Yes, that was my intent.
Well, on the day in question, were your sons present?
No, sir, they were not.
Then you and Coulter Preston were alone to Ponderosa.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
He even sent little Joe on a wild goose chase to the other end of the ranch, and he sent Hoss into town on some kind of errand, and there wasn't even a hand on the place.
Young man, you will remain quiet until you're questioned, or I shall instruct the deputy to remove you from the courtroom and hold you in contempt.
Now, Mr. Cartwright, on the night of the previous assault, you admit then that you were in town, that you were in the vicinity of the assault, and at exactly the time it happened.
That's right.
Then you could have been the man who gave Coulter Preston a beating.
If you're referring to the time and place, yes, I could have done it, but I didn't.
But he could have.
He's answered the question.
Well, what kind of hearing is this? Are you just going to listen to what you want to hear? Is this the kind of trial you gave my father?
Order! Order!
Lisa. She insisted, Judge. I couldn't stop her.
You don't miss a bit, do you, Cartwright? Bringing in the widow of the murdered man to get sympathy for you.
Sit down.
I have a right to have my say. What's the matter, Cartwright? Afraid of the truth? Did you see my father coming out of the barn that night, or did he see you?
Deputy, you sit this boy down in that chair.
Isn't that the truth, Cartwright? Go ahead.
All right, come on, boys. Come on, sit down.
I'll sit down. Sit down.
Take your son. If he gets up or opens his mouth again, take him out of here and lock him up.
Doggone it, David. It just don't make sense. If Paul intended to shoot Coulter, why'd he wait till me and you got there to see it?
The witness will please answer the prosecutor's question.
I repeat, as soon as we arrived, we heard a gunshot. We ran into the house. Ben Cartwright was there. Coulter Preston was gripping his side. He'd been wounded by a gunshot. Well, Hoss. Speak up, Hoss. Wasn't that the way it was?
Yeah, that's right. You'll have to speak up so the court can hear.
I say, yes, that's right.
Your Honor, in view of the evidence, I ask that Ben Cartwright be charged with assault and battery, and with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill.
Ben, if you have anything to say, if you have another line of defense. Ben, your only defense so far has been your conviction that the boy's lying.
He is lying, Judge. He may not know he's lying, but he is.
What? Please. Order. How can you be so sure, Lisa?
Because my son and I have lived with a lie for 15 years.
Well, I'm not going to let you do this.
You'll let me, Harold. In a way, it'll be like getting out of prison. Should have been said 15 years ago. It should have been said the night my husband was killed. I was in the barn that night, Ben. That's what you didn't see. Doug Preston and I were in the barn and my husband came in. My husband was a violent man. You knew that, Ben. But for my sake, you tried to ignore it, but you knew it. There were other women, a lot of drinking. I was terrified what he might do to my son in one of his drunken rages. I needed someone that would understand, give me sympathy. We didn't mean it to happen, but we fell in love with each other. We planned to run away together, take our 2 sons with us.
She's lying.
Deputy.
Listen, my father was taking me away with him. He would have told me if he had any interest in that woman. You're a liar, woman.
Frank began to suspect us. We were in the barn that night and Frank came in. There was a horrible argument. Doug Preston drew his gun and fired.
No, that's not so.
Doug ran out of the barn. That's when Ben saw him. I hid in the loft and I saw Ben come in and look down at my husband, lying there dead. Doug was afraid. He was guilty and he was afraid. He told me he was going to try to break out of jail, and I encouraged him. We'd meet someplace. I told him I'd take care of his son, Coulter. But he wanted the boy with him. If he hadn't stopped that night to pick up the boy, the posse might never have caught him. Don't lie, Coulter. Please don't lie. Haven't enough lives been ruined by lies already?
You have anything to say for yourself now, Coulter?
I did lie. I shot myself.
And that other beating in the alley?
I did that too. I just beat my head against the wall. pretending I was beating my head against Ben Cartwright, beating the truth out of him. I had to know the truth. I had to know the truth.
Well, you know it now. Charges against Ben Cartwright are dismissed. Court stands adjourned.
My father lied to me. He said that he was innocent. And if I hadn't really believed him, I wouldn't have caused anybody this much trouble, especially you.
He lied to you because of his love for you. Forget the lie, remember the love. That's what I remember. That's what I was trying to protect.
I think Lisa told her what would happen. Someday the hatred will be gone, and you'll remember only the love. You know, he once said to me that he'd never sung a happy song. He didn't know how. Maybe he will now. Sure hope so. Let's go.